right? We have all of these new products being put by Apple. They update whatever each year, and it's like, what's the purpose? Like, what are we doing? I kind of like Oppenheimer just reiterating perform here in terms of like the analyst action that we had this morning in Apple, because it's like, hey, this happened, this existed. We don't really know how to feel about it. And that's kind of how I feel every time Apple makes a new product announcement, with the occasional exception of the WWDC and then the September iPhone events. But yeah, I mean, I'm not super swayed by any of these events. Like I had my last MacBook for 7 years, no issues, dope times. My new one I've had like going on a year and a half, right? So these products last a long time. I think there's a lot of, they're trying to, I don't want to say planned obsolescence because that's not it per se. They're just trying to like continuously tell you, you need the next thing. Like, we need more generation now. Shout out to Black Eyed Peas, but like, you know what I mean? This constant, high-speed proliferation of new products. I don't think it's warranted. I don't think it's necessary. And I think, yeah, I mean, Oppenheimer nailed it. It's kind of a meh and a shrug for me.
Thank you very much, Dan the Man Emmons. My last Mac Pro lasted 15 years, from 2009. It supported up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, Randy. You're the same thing? You're the same thing. 2013, Randy has a 2013 MacBook with it's a trash can. The round wood. Okay, how much RAM does it have? 128. So it's still very, very operable, man. Like 128 is good, yeah. It's fantastic. He goes on to say, I now have the M2 Max MacBook Pro with 96 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabytes of storage, 3 years old, and we'll keep it forever. I think that that's pretty much Apple products in a nutshell, that they're going to be quality, high quality products. I don't think that they have a choice. I think that they need a yearly release cycle. Otherwise, that revenue number stays stagnant. You can't have new products every year. So you've got to release new versions of the old product just for that revenue number. I get, people see it as unnecessary. I completely get that. But, when you're in a business environment, you got to do what you got to do, Joey. You see that? You see that time there, Katina Man? We gave you another 3 there, Katina Man.
This is getting out of hand. It's getting way out of hand.
All right, Joey, send them off, man.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. Fantastic session. 1 trade today. Katina Man's been in 2. We were in IBIT all day, up 8%.
All day, baby.
Not too bad. All day, baby is right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Attaboy, attaboy, everybody. Welcome back.
Yes.
TQs. Oh, I got some Occidental on right now. We still got that silver short. We tried an Apple. We got
Apple a day keeps it off.
Wait a second. We got Nvidia. Oh yeah. Okay, shoot. We're out of Nvidia because it took out 184.50 off of our 180 long. Again, this is a sticky note trade, and just let it go into the end there. Somehow 183, 183.50, 184.50. What goes bump in the night? Nvidia goes bump in the night. So nice move. High side there for NVDA. Wish we were obviously still in it. But yeah, we'll talk about more things. I don't have the Bluetooth on this amazing Windows computer, Sharif, is not working.
You know the irony of this whole thing?
Bluetooth, Randy.
No, we literally got iPads so that we could run our earpieces off of the iPad.
I'll show you, look.
And now we do them on the PCs. Okay, I plug in so that
Bluetooth.
This nonsense plugs in.
What's
so
happening?
I don't have to deal with all the Windows issues. Because that was the same thing for me. Man, when I would use the Bluetooth, I could not get the earpiece to consistently work. It'd be frustrating.
Oh, I hate that wired thing, man.
So I'm like, whatever.
You couldn't pay me to wear
I can just plug it in and then plug it off, and then I'm absolutely chilling. So it is what it is.
Yeah, no worries.
Look, market's looking good. Looks like we get to 2%. I grabbed BM&R off of volume weighted average price, but I'm in a reload on SoFi, like one of those, what do we call it? What's the word I like to use? It's not, okay, like if you're gonna trail out of something, what's the term for if I'm gonna trail out of something, you add back in front of the trail? Or is there not a term for that? It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
So I'm trailing out at about 1885, so I add some shares back in, and then sort of it just moves my trailing stop in here. But we'll see, this market, it's been pretty good. And, you know what did happen? And I'm glad these guys brought it up, because we didn't really talk about the biggest earnings name last night at all. Because let's be real.
Yeah, we didn't.
Look, CrowdStrike It didn't do anything. It was flat this morning when we're doing our rundown. Like there was nothing about it on CrowdStrike this morning that would have had you excited or, hey, we should be talking about this name that's moving or had traders interested. But it did make a move, now up 4%. So cybersecurity names are back in the range. I think this is the first time we're looking good after earnings on one of these cybersecurity names. You got Pandubs up 2%, a third percent. I haven't looked at. You know what? Don't at me if Zscaler's having a bad day. I just said the entire group is up, but I actually haven't checked. Not bad, 1.6. But yeah, loving what's happening in CrowdStrike. This is a great sign. I can't say enough about it. At the end of the day, still has some work to do, but I do like the reaction. A good quarter actually meaning up. Feels like we haven't been saying a lot of that lately.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the quarter. I guess I should have taken a look there. Yeah, we're happy. I was talking about this yesterday, man. Like Bug ETF, Cyber, SIBR, another ETF that you could get yourself invested in if you did think that the cybersecurity, sort of bull run was about to be upon us. I mean, I do believe in that. I do think that cybersecurity is going to be something. You can see here 1.36%. Yeah, good call. Let's have some hydration.
I'm drinking tea. Same thing. It's water.
Yeah, coffee, tea, everything water around here. Yeah, so anyway, Cyber's a good one. The name that I know Sharif is always mentioning Palo Alto as well. So this is a name that I got at 144. So this is a good price, hopefully, for Pan W, up 2.33% on sympathy over there. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, so silver, we left you with this trade as well. This has just been another one. We have some sort of a button for that.
Another one.
And then the chicken was actually pretty good today, right? My favorite meal is those small pieces of chicken.
What did you think?
That we get.
But what did you think of the noodles?
I liked them, but I just got too many of them. There's just so many of those glass noodles. But I thought they were pretty good, man. I mean, I think today, not worth hating on the lunch. I think it was definitely a good one there today. So yeah, you're gonna crack a beer, Hangry Rife? Send one over here, I guess. But no,
Friday.
Don't do that. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
We used to do that on Fridays.
You're on your way to what is it, Dunedin, or where are you guys?
Well, we fly into Tampa, but
Tampa.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Jays are in Dunedin.
Yeah. I knew they were there. I just wasn't sure what spot you guys were.
Well, we're actually for spring training. I stay in Indian. It's called Indian River or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Indian Springs? I don't know. It's like a little beach town-ish sort of deal. But yeah, I'm looking forward to spring training. I'll be having a few brews, that's for sure. My two favorite things. Well, there's a lot of things.
You can't
I
have
like
one
about
without the other, man.
Yeah, you have a brew at the game,
you
but
can't
I
have
also love the cold brew. Like you get good weather, and so my morning coffee will be a cold brew when I'm in Florida.
Yes. I'll drink even that right here.
But
right now,
this is a beef mine. Well, I can't get a cold brew inside the stadium. They don't sell a cold brew.
Maybe they do now.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, man.
Should send in.
The game's at 1 o'clock. If I want a cold brew, it's early.
Yeah, I don't think it's
there for batting practice.
1 o'clock. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I had the Tim Hortons protein yesterday.
Tim's is good.
It's
you had it yesterday?
Yeah, it's 26 grams of protein in a large coffee. 26 grams.
But straight up,
I know nothing what that means.
It doesn't taste like it's that much protein. Like it doesn't. Usually, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna love the taste of this. I thought it was pretty good.
I can't tell. It's a latte, but I can't really tell the difference between that and a normal latte. But so Sharif, you grabbed it, eh?
Yeah, Katima, just
no. But what did you grab, a latte or what did you?
Yeah, so it was actually a cold drink. It was the cold one. So they just they throw that iced coffee and they throw some protein on there. But it's as much as you had there. I think it was like 27 or 28 grams.
Yes, easy way to get it, I guess. Or you can get those chocolate bars or whatever, those protein bars.
Yeah, I'd rather drink it than FNLs are always dry.
No, me too. I mean, because it just feels like you're drinking a coffee, to be honest with you. Okay, yeah, we tried to go short a little bit of Occidental. It's trying to pay. Come on, keyboard. Trying to pay off a little bit here. We'll have to see if it eventually goes down, man. Underneath VWAP, underneath a bunch of different things here. 53.40. We'll see if we can get a little lower. I didn't want to stop out until we breached that, and we almost did right there before falling back in, and we finally take that low. I'm just watching it out. I got to try to. I could plug in my wireless earpiece, I guess. But there, or my wired one. I hate that wired one. But we'll see here as it moves back in. See if we get another 53. I'm actually bidding. While I'm bidding 52.90, I was hoping for a break down below, but I think maybe we should put another 53. Let's put a 53.04 there for 10% and see if we get that. See if Occidental and oil continues to make a march. We did see, you know what? The thing is that I was looking at this earlier. Oil was actually going up as I was basically shorting. And you can see right here on oil, this is crude. So right now, flat on the day, 74.50. That top right there is what I was sort of thinking about looking short. And then I thought Occidental kind of matched it with the way that looked on the chart. But, you know, Occidental now, we'll see about a downside play. And I chose it because it was actually redder than the market today. And there was that same top. So trying to go short there, and we'll see if it winds up working. I'm just a little upset. Do we got to go over to you?
We are. I think we are.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this NVIDIA trade, we're out of it. But watch out for that top of 184.50. All right.
Sharif.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where we decide what we talk about every single afternoon. Neil, Sean, they're known as the big boys. They are ready. They're locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on this Afternoon Rundown is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. You have to throw in that $sign, though, before you vote. But make sure to vote. And we're up 8 a.m. now, so you can vote from then. Let's look at all four major averages, guys. And when I woke up this morning, it did not look like this. We were trending in the right direction, but we were certainly not up almost 2% here on the triple Qs, up 1.84. Good recovery from yesterday's lows. The SPY also recovering, but not nearly as much, a little bit below 1%, up 0.59. The Dow, the worst of all four major averages, at least for the moment, up 0.58. And the Russell 2000 ETF IWM here up 1.17. Good look for all four major averages. I was surprised to see this as the number one ticker as decided by you guys. MOBX, M-O-B-X, down 12 2/3%, but it was an absolute rocket ship yesterday. Tried to get green, boys. It tried to get into that 112 area that it closed out at yesterday. Failed that into 110. It was up yesterday after they announced a new U.S. Navy production order for filtering components used in Tomahawk cruise missiles, guys. MOBX down 12 4/5.
It's so hilarious. It's like right in the moment that I was typing the symbol in, Sharif is saying MOBX, so of course I type an I. No, but it's weird. The human brain does work like that, where whatever, like it's just, I'm not even thinking it's exactly at the wrong moment that did happen. But MOBX, unfortunately, couldn't hold on to the dollar. You took a dollar, you ran from a dollar, you couldn't hold a dollar. So I don't know, I'm slapping the fail on it. Because I did try the breakout back through $1 and gave some back here. Trying this one breaking back through $1. I was getting, you know, it didn't, look, this morning it had no qualms breaking through the $1 on the downside. Like it was right away at the open, it went 120 down to like 80 cents. It clawed all its way back. It topped out at like 99.8 cents or something really close to $1, and then came in for a double top breakout. It just couldn't really sustain any of those dips, and it's back under $1. So if I don't know if I paid for locates here. It actually seems like this could trend break. I really would have wanted this one to hold $1, but it looks like it could 15-minute trend break under $1 here. If it did, then you know, if you got free locates, it looks like a decent short. I don't think I paid for locates, or I actually don't know if they're free. I must have paid for them because I don't think they would have been free. So yeah, I'll look for this, maybe a potential 15-minute trend break, but the long was a bit of a fail on the way back up. Commodity King says NBIS is running, so there's always something going. That's not a small capper. But NBIS just broke too high today, 30%. That's another one, looking pretty good. But yeah, unfortunately for MOBX, it lost $1 and looks like it's having trouble regaining.
Yeah, I mean, you actually did so many shares, right? MOBX. So yeah, just, you know, yeah, Luis on. I would always say about you're watching out for that dollar break. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter too much of this name, but they're going to want to, protect this name over $1. That is the company. I don't know if the market really cares that much. I mean, again, 350 million shares today. Had its, day yesterday. There's the move down. Definite support looks like between 75 to 80 cents. So if you're waiting for something, that might be what you wait for at this point, as it's struggling underneath view up. For me, this looks like a short now, underneath view up, underneath the 200 period moving average. I don't know what it costs to pay for shorts on this, but I think it's probably,
cheap.
yeah,
I got them this morning.
probably worth it to play some downside risk there against a buck. Right, buck is VWAP, so I think you're fine. Like 5 cents, whatever, man. You take 1,000 shares or something like that. Depending on, again, what your risk tolerance is. Everybody's is different, but 85 cents, you could get that out. It's $100. I think you take the $100 against 50 there. I like that idea for MOBX right there, man. This one
You
is
said I too.
definitely a big one there today. What was that?
You said the I as well.
Oh.
Because
yeah,
it is
I don't- maybe
MOBIX.
something like-
No, but the company is MOBIX.
Okay.
Like, the only thing missing in the ticker is the I. There's nothing. Well, we're not missing any opportunities to talk about the names that are moving. I was about to cheat and say which one is going to be next, but I think it's an equal chance between two names. So, Tesla.
Hey, good job, Neil. All right, guys, Tesla shares get a lift after Bank of America's bullish rating. So they reinstated, guys, their buy rating on Tesla with a price target of $460, which, based on yesterday's close, implies about a 17% upside. This is what they said. The current leader, Tesla is the current leader in consumer autonomy. They write in a note adding it expects the company to quickly become the leader in robo-taxi service, given its ability to scale more profitably than their competitors. Joseph and I often talk about this on the Midday show, about $250,000 per Waymo vehicle. They use the Jaguar I-Pace, obviously Tesla's robo-taxi, a lot cheaper. Separately, we have this one, this headline coming in midday. Tesla's UK sales plummet in February, and they're outpaced, boys, by BYD. BYD's deliveries are up 41% from a year earlier to 968 units, but Tesla outsold them, at least in February, 2,208 vehicles.
It's nice to hear BYD talked about without any reference to them. Oh, they're cleaning their clock or whatever, wiping the floor with them. Usually you've got something to say about it, Sharif. And it's not like it hasn't been true for some time. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like anybody selling EVs makes any money doing it except for Tesla and the Chinese EV companies. But yeah, Tesla saying, hey, look, we do pretty good there too. But it's not about that. It's not about that. Elon's not about EV sales anymore. He's not even about Mars, as was being talked about in the midday. He's about...
Did they mention SpaceX yet, or?
Well, we didn't hear any more news about it. Okay. He's about SpaceX, but that's about the moon. That's about data centers in space right now. But it's also all about autonomous, and it's all about robotics as well for Tesla. And good day for Tesla today with the Flintstones. Well, foot powered too. There's nothing wrong with that. Although I would not be trying to move a stone car with my feet. That was one of the most ridiculous things in Flintstones. I loved that. That it would be so ridiculously unrealistic the way that they did it. Just get some bicycles, man. But Tesla, it hasn't really done the full hold of this 200 period moving average, meaning we've bounced 2 days in a row off of that, but we're probably going to close above $400, but we closed above 400 last time and then rejected. Close above 400 remains to be seen through the end of the week. So what I want to see is let's bounce the 200 period, which we're doing, and then not retest it. Then we can talk about the run to 420. So that's what I think of tomorrow. Close above 400, and then we get 420 tomorrow, as opposed to thinking we're going to get something crazy in here today. Oh, and we didn't look at this morning, but I was just going through some things and charts over the lunchtime, and unfortunately noticed in all of this positivity that we're seeing in a strong market and all that good stuff, not to the upside is Rivian. And I'm only bringing it up because this is set up for something else tomorrow, like weakness relative to the market into a potential flat bottom break. Like, I'm thinking this could be a flat bottom break tomorrow, just on its own because it can't get out of its own way. But yeah, good strength for Tesla. I think we can see that 420 provided we close holding this 400 today.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at this, like this 200 period moving average, you know, huge move up, right back in. And then we, you know, again, like we don't have it, but, you know, those of you guys that were in the chat here at 10 o'clock, hopefully you were around. We were trading that Nvidia, and we've sort of seen the end result of that. But yeah, that was a good long. And it's just, you know, to being able to take that, we talked about it right into the pre-market low again. So, you know, sometimes when you don't break that, it's just upside. I mean, obviously the market has to work out for you as well. It can't just be only like, let's just trust this name, because, you know, why did it go up and then right back down in? You just got to wait for the buyers to come in or the sellers, because there's the long there. And if you're short, or if you're looking for the short, you might have been able to catch it on that 25 period break low again right now. So we're just trying to ride this to the north side here. I think Tesla would be a long over all of these names, over the 50, the 200, everything, VWAP. Looks like Tesla's trying to go long here, and I think it's good. Breaking off through VWAP, good hold. Now we're starting to take out the day's highs. So yeah, man, Tesla, I think it's gonna be one that works. So I'd be sticking long here in TSLA.
As Paramount tried to pry Warner Brothers away from Netflix, President Trump was adding more Netflix bonds to his personal portfolio. Financial disclosures released by the White House today show the disclosures now show that President Trump bought between $600,000 and $1.25 million worth of Netflix debt in January, adding to the position he already had, which was between $500,000 and $1 million in Netflix bonds that he purchased in December, shortly after the Netflix mega deal for Warner was announced, the author wrote. Separately, we have this headline from Netflix that they're really expanding their capabilities with their ad suite. They say, after launching the Netflix ad suite last year, we're continuing to add new ways for brands to buy and measure ads on Netflix. Advertisers will now be able to tap into new targeting capabilities and better manage how often ads appear across the streamers, as well as reach specific audiences at scale on their ad-supported plan. They go on to talk a little bit more about that. In any event, Netflix, boys, up 1%.
Yeah, we got to keep it to the market and keep it to what it means for the stock here. And reality is, Netflix is bullish right now. That story doesn't do anything to dissuade you from that, ultimately. Maybe not at this exact moment because it's pulling back off of some highs, but I'll grant you, $100 is almost always going to be a psychological level. You know, it doesn't really matter what your market cap is. Sometimes you get to a big, fat, round number like $100, and you will find some resistance. That's just how it is. That's what happened today. It pushed once, couldn't do it. It pushed twice. It got to 99.75. It actually looks like it. Yeah, the chart's right there. So 99.75 a couple times, and we couldn't do anything with it. But that does set us up for 100 as a breakout trade. I feel like that's going to be crowded. Like tomorrow, I don't think we get it today. I think tomorrow, I mean, relative, we're at VWAP. The market's at the highs. It's not looking super strong. But I think tomorrow, if we get a $100 break on Netflix, I wouldn't be surprised if the first time was a bit of a fake out, and then the second time, you know, look for that second time through to be a little bit more clean, even if it happens later on in the session. But this has been, every time I do this, I have to go back to a better chart. So this has been a fantastic turn. And this was mentioned all the way down when this was just consecutive week after the week to the downside. And it's not like any one week was ridiculous, but it adds up. You just needed a resolution on this deal that didn't involve them raising their bid, and the market liked it even better that they're not buying them in the first place. Like, I think they would have bounced if they'd won it and just been outright at the same price. I think they would have had a slight bounce, but this is even better that they're not doing the deal. The 50 period on the weekly sets up at about $108. If you break that 100, I suppose that's as good of a target as any for Netflix like them.
I just want to say here, because we're getting out of this Qs trade, like, so generally, like at this time of day, I've been looking short, like off of these levels, right? We've sort of been barcoding. If I take off all of these part fills here and everything like that, and we can now see what this looks like that to me is starting to look a little bit like a top. I mean, we are starting to form out underneath all of this, the 20, 25, the 50s trying to hold, hopefully it does. So I'm going to keep on getting out in and around these areas. We do have some higher outs, and as you can see, oopsies, as you can see, I'll put these back on right here, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about when you see these, where these fills are coming from. So now they're all just in and around here. So I think we should do our best job and try just to get out of maybe more of these right now as we are starting to head to the down. Well, I thought maybe to the downside. Just want to watch out for that high. So just letting you guys know that that's something that we're doing. Yeah, Netflix breaking $100 looks good to me. I think that happens very, very soon. And yeah, man, I mean, this President Trump made the American, I guess, citizens. I don't know where the money from Intel is going to wind up going, but what a great call that was on Intel. And hopefully he'll have another one on NFLX. And I know he's putting money in my pocket if that's the reason why. Part of the reason why it's going up. So I'm not going to complain, man. We did buy this in that mid 80 area, and now it's $100. So I like it, and you know, my hat's off to anybody that makes a good trading decision. It seems like Donald has done that once again. So who's he getting his advice from? If you know, man, give them my number because I wouldn't mind hearing some of that as well. So good job, Donald. Let's keep Netflix going longer.
It ain't from Epstein.
Ouch.
Oh boy, I can't believe you just dropped that, Neil. All right, guys, Nvidia just got into the high of the day, up 2.4%, several different headlines. A lot of this came out later. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said the opportunity to invest $100 billion in OpenAI is probably not in the cards as the ChatGPT creator is set to go public later this year. They did finalize a $30 billion investment into OpenAI, which might be the last time it has the opportunity to, quote, invest in a consequential company like this, close quote. He made these comments at the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecom Conference. At that same conference, gentlemen, he talked about his $10 billion investment, calling it probably will be the last. Separately, we also know a group of tech companies, including Nvidia, Apple, and Amazon, sent Pentagon's Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, a letter expressing their concern about the declaration of Anthropic as a supply chain risk.
Yeah, so this morning it was a little bit of a, hey man, what's up with the title of the stream today? Well, this afternoon it's a big fat picture of Jensen. At least it was when I logged in. I don't think it's changed now. That was a big fat picture. It's just Jensen smiling, which I'm sure he is today. So obviously, Nvidia up a couple of points. Consolidations are good, especially when they're in uptrends, and that's what happened yesterday. So you've got the hold of the 180, and then the breakout of this prior high at 183.5 that's going on for Nvidia. And just like the overall market, you know, we've had this, like, look at the SPY, look at the Q, same thing, right? You've had this supply zone. For Nvidia, it's been about the mid 170s in here. You're bouncing, and now it's Confluence with the 200-period moving average. So every one of these presses has at least taken us into the 190 area where we've run into some trouble. I think we're set up nicely to finally break. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, you've had the 200-period catch up, so we've been consolidating for a long time. Two, it's after earnings, right? So we got the patented, let's figure out why we're complaining about a great quarter and sell off for a few days on Nvidia and then find the bounce. So you've had a couple of those things go. So I think this time, hopefully, will be different for that 193 area break. It lasted all of a few hours the last time we did it, but I think it'll be a crowded trade when it gets there and worth it for that. So Nvidia on the way to this 190 to 93 zone. Today's only Wednesday. So I think, I was about to say, I'm like, well, maybe it'll be next week. No, I think that's a couple of days worth of work. So on Friday, I think we challenged that level.
Okay, Amazon cuts jobs in robotics division. Okay.
See, that's not where I would have thought that the cut would be.
Yeah, not much going on there with that stock except for just nice upside play. We talked about Amazon earlier and what it meant to the stock down there, holding that $200 level. What a great job, Amazon. And what else is new there? These guys, man, some of these. So first of all, there's our trade this morning. There's the long at 180 on Nvidia. There's the long on the sticky note 180 on Nvidia. So here is, I should actually post up the outs on Nvidia and just add it to the sheet. But there goes Nvidia right there. Remember yesterday I said Nvidia was P&L number one? P&L number one today again too, Nvidia. So just upside play there, nice momentum. Thank you, Joe. We'll start figuring out that, I have to get that over here, but I appreciate that, Joe. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, just always could be more, right? And that's the thing. So we've now read it twice, both back-to-back days. Yesterday we shorted 180, made the money. Today we longed 180, made the money. So I like 180. And if that comes through again at some point tomorrow, the next day, whenever, we'll look at NVIDIA 180 one more time, okay? So for right now, though, we're already cleared out of it right there at the high of the day. And part of that was just 183, 183.50, 184.50. Like, I literally just put them in there and didn't even realize on this move up that we were going to get that, and we did. So I'd like to still be in it a little bit, but it's starting to maybe move a little southbound there. Nasdaq's still up 1.7%. So, like, everything is cruising right now on the Nasdaq, and we are getting more out on the TQs, as we said. It's kind of looking a little bit like a turnaround here, maybe, in the market, as we said. So, yeah, look, love NVIDIA. Hopefully, you trade it again tomorrow.
Italian oil, BATL, dropping 30 to the tune of 30%, a little bit less. Had a couple of great days, obviously, with the strength in oil and the belligerencies in the Middle East. It had a bit of a tough day yesterday, kind of was stagnant. Couple of topping tail candles in the pre-market today, guys. It gives up the ghost, but bounces cleanly off that $13 area. What's your look on Battle?
It's battling back? I don't know.
Is that what it's doing today? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like it is. Like it bounced very, very cleanly. Actually, that's really good technically. Let's be real. It filled in the entirety of the gap, bounced off the prior, I guess the prior highs to make the low, and did a complete V-shaped recovery. So this will be deceiving. Okay, so it says that we're down 29%. Are we? Yeah, if you bought it last night at the close. However, the better way to look at this is it did a V-shaped recovery. And that means the shorts, because you know how this works. Those that short these types of names don't just sit there and cry over spilt milk when it goes to $10. Those big whales, they get all over this when there's the offering, and they short in the in the mid-high 20s because of the offering, think it's going to die. And what do you think they're doing when it gaps down? Covering for winners? No, they tend to be pretty greedy. My guess is there's a bunch that we're adding on the way down, like this is going to $5, and it didn't. So it breaks back out. If you can hold 18, maybe re-squeeze this, a 30 eventually re-break would be huge because you probably have twice as many people caught in the short. Now, that's a long way from here. It would have to do a heck of a lot of work, and history would tell you that that's also probably at least a little bit unlikely, but it's something to watch out for. I think a lot of times seeing the back end of these trades, if it only lasts a day or two, and then it retakes to top, I think that's what really gets those funds blown out. Because on that first day, you know, they just short into the move and they're like, whatever, we're fine, we can hold it forever. So if it doesn't retake that high, I'd probably be passing on it a little bit. But it's worth monitoring. You give these ones, you know, give it 2 or 3 days to keep it past here, to keep it on the radar. And if it doesn't retake any highs by then, you can move on.
Yeah, for all those names, there was another one yesterday that was Indo. That was another name that was running around there on volume yesterday. It seems like might be taking a little bit of a break on that thought today. INDO down 14% and maybe getting a little bit lower here as we go. So down breaking, it looks like it wants to get going there on the downside. INDO downside play. Okay, tonight we have Broadcom coming through, so that should be another report that we're interested in, up 2.5% there. We saw CrowdStrike yesterday, a little bit of a downside play, then recovered all day. We'll see what winds up happening here with AVGO tonight. I mean, I think this is another big name. We waited for NVIDIA's, and it was, you know, not much to look at actually afterwards. I mean, the quarter was great, but it actually faded out. So this one's nice to see it holding fort today, breaking above the 200 period moving average. We'll see if it wants to hold that level. Very hard to predict, obviously, what's going to happen. I think there'll be a good quarter. Hopefully the pullback is not real, and we continue to rip up. When it's a good quarter, I think we wait for some reaction to that play. Marvell in a couple days, it's not doing too much. I was just looking at that stock right now. Uber, I'm just trying to find some names that are maybe crossing up on the scanner a little bit here as we wait for.
Oscar's going ham. We were talking.
Oh yeah, you're mentioning Oscar. We need to see maybe Adara. Was there an upgrade for Oscar today or something? OSC.
It's a rocket today.
Yeah, it's crazy. The chart looks nuts.
It's not. Look, and it's not so much. I'm not saying Oscar's going to be the biggest day trade this afternoon or there's anything here. It's literally at the high day. It's the way at which it's going up. It's not the 11%. It's the way this chart looks. It's allergic to the volume weighted average price. It's pretty unbroken, and it's very orderly up here. Like there was one point, there was one red candle for like an hour and a half on the 3, and it's a good strong mover. I can't figure out why it's back.
No news.
So no news. at all. Maybe is there a sympathy play? You guys tell me. Like, is there some other like healthcare, smaller cap name that might be running that this could be sympathy of? Because this is a pretty good breakout. I'd love for there to be a catalyst here. You're through the 50 period. You're breaking out here on the daily over that 14.5, and it's like a buy program. We always get questions, like some people are like, well, why do you say that's like an algo buying? I mean, usually it's just because it looks like it. It's the answer. Mm-hmm. And that's about, like, there's very little, like when it slows down, it stays on like one train plan, like it's one trend and then it slows down and then it just resumes a different angle and then keeps that same angle and then it slows down. There's no consolidations or anything. It's just, it'll slow down for a bit, but the buyers will just sort of re-engage at a different pace. It's never really going sideways at all, which is a bit abnormal, especially with no catalyst. If it's no catalyst, I'm flat out expecting there to be pullbacks when you don't have an actual catalyst. So this one's going to be, okay, so this is a random price that I'm getting in a BM&R, and in my defense, my black chart has a gap in it from this morning. Sometimes this happens. I call up a lot of symbols. So while I'm like, yeah, I'm buying it off of VWAP here, I'm not. I'm buying it off of a level that it happens to be bouncing from, but on my black chart it says VWAP, but on here it's not. So I'm going to scalp some out here, looking for the high of the day on BM&R. Bitcoin's really slowed down a lot, and only because sometimes I get this question, why do you always talk about Bitcoin with regards to BM&R? Of course, it's an ETH thing. ETHA is super strong today. And I feel like BM&R, like ETHA is pulling back from the highs, so I do have to watch this. If it loses this contain, I think BM&R falls back in, so I have to keep a tight stop. But if it retakes some of those highs, I think it's got a chance. ETH, for all we talk about Bitcoin being back over 70,000, like we hardly mentioned that ETH is at 21.8. Yeah, 21.8 there. So well above the 2,000, almost a 10% move off that key 2,000 level, which was huge. If everyone remembers the 2,000 breakout, it's kind of sad that it came all the way back. Because that was an epic, it was a couple of years ago, when we made that 2,000 break. It was epic on ETH. Everyone's all excited about it.
Yeah.
It's a fact that we actually retested underneath for so long.
I'm interested here in thinking, so we've almost gotten out of all of our Qs right now. As we were talking about it at 70s, it's now in the 60s and looking to get a little bit lower. But this right here is actually Google, this stock that I have up here right now on this chart is Google. And I'm thinking, like, it's not doing it yet, but I was thinking right here about it potentially breaking, well, I gotta put the Oxy short out because if we get hit on this Occidental short, we have to get out of it. I was thinking about that potential break right there. You're underneath VWAP right now. You've got sort of a sloping down 50 period moving average. So the idea here potentially would be is to look to see if we break that. The last time we were here at the 200 period moving average, just a 5-minute chart, was this morning, and it looks like we based out a little bit, obviously before ripping up as the whole market. I mean, the Nasdaq, as you can see, up 1.7%. This is not sleeping today by any means, right? I mean, I think there is I'm long the Nasdaq, so I do think there's upside. But I was just thinking right there, if we do break that level, is it worth putting a big position on and then maybe just using, again, the 200 period or even 303 clean as just my stop out? Like, I'm going to punch short right there if that breaks through 80s. And then, so you're going to be short like 78, 79, and then you're going to give yourself 20 cents or so worth of room, which gets you back over 300 again. And then if you're wrong, maybe it just punches you out immediately. But if you do get one of these candles like this on that break, that candle alone is 50 cents. So the risk, on a break and like a complete collapse sort of here on Google, I don't think it's going to collapse, but you never know if the Nasdaq does spin itself around here and start to go a little lower. I would think that Google and everything else has the capabilities of following. So I just wanted to look at that. And on the 1-minute chart as well, as we zoom out, you can see we're talking about VWAP there, and it's trying to do the same thing, but this is almost clearer where you could see how many times it's tried to do that and then stopped. So interesting levels here on Google. Wondering about the short over there on GOOGL. What's up, Adara?
I just want to address this because I was seeing some people mention this in the chat. I didn't bring it up at the time because of reasons I'm going to explain right now. So there's a story from Oscar that came out at 6:52 a.m. on Monday. So this is well over 48 hours old. But because people are mentioning in the chat, I do want to address this. They announced that, again, on Monday, that they were going to be reaffirming their full year 2026 guidance, and that a conference where they were going to reaffirm that guidance also happened, you guessed it, on Monday. So this is very old news, but I do want to mention it because I've seen a couple people talk about it in the chat. Yeah, guys, I didn't mention it earlier, like I said, because I didn't want to make this seem like something it wasn't. It is 2 days old. Back to you.
Well, you know, it is a couple of days old, but it makes the technical breakout maybe a little bit better that there's something behind it. You know what? And the other thing too is, look at the way. Remember, I was talking about how you can tell it's. I shouldn't say you can tell. I would speculate that it's more program buying. Just have a look at the volume on most of these days. Like, what do you see? On a stock that, if there's nothing really happening with it, as mentioned, is a small Monday story there. It's big spikes at the open, big spikes at the close, and like a big hump. That's the normal profile. Look what it's doing today. Just like, look at how consistent the volume is. Like the biggest volume candles, not 9:30. It actually is doing more volumes multiple times later on in the session. And you know, I believe like people can do what they want, but I think volume is an important indicator to keep an eye on, because something like that, like I wish, and we have a great community out there. I wish we'd paid more closer attention.
That sounds good.
That's terrible. I wish we'd paid closer attention to Oscar, because if you put that together and you see it maintaining that steady volume, it's like just join the party. And even if it's a tight trend line, just join it, because it's not dropping in volume. That's distinctly different from not only its normal pattern, but the flat out pattern of all stocks. Like, I could let's pull up something, what's the most random stock that we have not looked at today? Neil, GameStop.
Okay, I was gonna say Uber or something.
You know what? Someone just said AMC in the chat a few minutes ago. So
Don't ever look at that stock.
I know it's not the best example, but on most days you're gonna get the peak to trough. Hey, look, today it's actually even worse. But generally speaking, you're gonna have a small spike. There wasn't even a spike at the open, but you'll get a trough, and then it ramps back up in the afternoon. But what you don't see is more volume in the middle of the day than at that opening print. That's what I'm getting at. I don't know why I picked GameStop. Probably not even, but it still makes the point anyways.
Yeah, we're taking another out there on Google and, sorry, on the Qs, but still watching out. I just wanted to show you again, it sort of ripped, not ripped, but took off those levels. So that's what I'm saying. Like this, there might not be enough juice in this market to give it one way or the other right now here today. I mean, volume, if we look at the Nasdaq, is pretty died off. I mean, look how excited it was early on, right? All morning long until about noon right here, where we just have died off now from noon. I mean, it's actually, the Nasdaq is actually like real low right now volume-wise. Here's what the ES looks like as well. Very, very tight volume. Like there's almost nothing right here in the market that's getting this guy overly excited right now. So we'll still continue to look for some setups, put some stocks in the chat, and we'll be able to see if it's looking like a trade for us, and we'll be able to help you guys maybe work your way through some ideas, because that's what we're looking for as well. Adair's got something.
There's been a lot of commentary from C-suite executives throughout the day, specifically in tech, at that Morgan Stanley TMT or technology conference. This time we have comments from Meta. So CFO of Meta saying, I'm just seeing summary of these comments, apparently their core business is continuing to perform, quote, extremely well. There is upward pressure on AI spend, but apparently they're saying the capacity that they thought was going to be enough 12 to 24 months ago continues to change. So yeah, likely they're going to be spending more money here on AI. Again, we did have comments as well earlier from Nvidia, and I think most notably from a stock perspective on Intel, comments from CFO and former interim co-CEO David Zinsner coming around 11:45. Nice look for Intel there. But again, just keep an eye here on these tech companies as I see comments from these different executives with regards to this conference. I will keep you posted. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. We have a button.
Thank you very much, Dara.
There you go. We got a button for that one.
President, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Adara.
Get the thank you from the.
And speaking of Trump, he's going to be making an appearance at 3 p.m. And apparently they're going to be talking about AI and energy. So I don't have any details yet, but we might see, he might be calling us on a cell phone for some hotline bling in this afternoon. So stay posted. And if people who've seen SNL will get that reference with that little gift there.
Yeah. We'll get that one. I mean, for now, we just have some other random people that could always call in. I mean, Warren Buffett hasn't.
China.
Yeah.
Well, he's retired.
Warren Buffett hasn't called in a while because he's retired right there. So.
Well, you know who's not going to call?
No, he doesn't call.
You know who's not going to be calling anymore?
Yeah, Jerome. That was today, right? That's officially announced.
Peace.
Yeah, officially announced.
Enjoy. You know what though?
The Warshman is in the building.
Whatever gets made. I don't know how much gets made on the tours for.
It's
you write the
worshified.
book. You do your speaking tours. You talk at random conferences.
What is this guy,
ever heard
Clinton?
of, and then just make all kinds of cash. Just get straight paid, homie.
Yeah, but he came into the position very rich.
We got a super chat. No, it's just random story about like random people talking. My wife is in like a consulting, but like in basically in insurance. Not the most exciting thing in the world. So she's at some conference. You think it's not exciting, whatever, insurance. You know who the speaker was?
No.
In the last 2 years, it's been Nick Saban
Oh, that's good, yeah.
and like Bob Costas. I'm like,
makes a lot
huh?
of- yeah, you know
I'm
what
like,
they charge
what?
for those?
I'm like, for what? I'm like, aren't you at an insurance conference? It's like, well, it's talking about leadership
Yeah,
and stuff.
team building.
I'm like, just because you know what these conferences, they just have money to spend. So that's why Jerome probably makes more speaking as a Fed chair, as
Yeah,
Saban or
I don't think they make much as when they hold the position, but
No,
Jerome
they-
Powell
you
came
get
in
paid.
very rich,
You get
but
paid.
he'll write a book about all this, and people will buy his book because of all the stuff that's happened with Trump and everything too. Elf, yeah, we like Elf Cosmetics. I mean, I believe my family spends enough money on this, so I should be an investor. That's kind of part of the strategies. No, I've never bought this name. This is one that I was supposed to buy a long time ago and didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy Ulta Beauty or Elf or any of those names, but those are fan favorites in my family. Yeah, no, it was when Elf was doing this, and then the wife, because we were traveling around, and when the Elf made a little bit of a dive into some of these levels, we were talking about it. Looks like it broke. I don't know why this name is just so all over the place, but yeah, I don't know. Like I don't like this stock anymore. I think not that I've ever particularly liked it, but if you are, down into this area, I think there could be some support for that super chat down there around $65. That would make a little bit of sense if you do have the stomach to hold that. The low looks like 50, so something into that area makes a little bit of sense to buy it. But you're not asking me to say, okay, it's at $80. Or I'm going to wait for 50. If you're in this already, I just think it's underneath the 200 period moving average. I don't really think that buying something when you're almost in between the lows and a spot of support, that it's worth doing anything. So, I mean, maybe find out when Elf's earnings are and then play it for an earnings play or potential swing play off of $70 right there. But yeah, I got to do some more work on the business. Like, Elf is obviously cosmetics, and then Ulta Beauty is where they're selling these things at. And, Sephora, things like that. Let me just check out what Ulta Beauty is doing. Like, I do like the idea behind retail these days. So I think right now, just the way this looks, if you're going to make a play in said space, I think you would just choose Ulta right now based on the way this looks, right? Holding the 50-period moving average. So, yeah, Elf just a little bit beat up right there. It's still on the shelf, that stock. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on ONDS. Barron's calling this one a long idea in an article on, quote, stocks that could provide the anti-drone technology the U.S. so desperately needs. So ONDS, Ondas, we know this one has rallied in the past. Barron's giving this one the nod. Furthermore, just be aware here for the market or for oil. I'll just put the QQQs up. Local news in the Middle East reporting that there are explosions being heard across multiple areas of Tehran. Also, before I send you guys back, one more thing here. It looks like BKSY is the ticker for this one. Black Sky Technology. This is another long idea from that Barron's article on anti-drone technology. Back to you.
Anti-drone technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a big deal. That's
well, we had
stock.
drone names. Well, first of all, we can look up drone names in a second. I just wanted to see what PLTR was doing right now as Palantir still trying to hold that bid. What is the market doing? Okay, still here, it's fine. Because I was looking at the Q's position, still 26 cents in. Yeah, Palantir. So I am a little cautious of all of these plays right now because, we're near the top, but it did look like we were trying to fade out a little bit, but, holding VWAP, I think these are going to remain the best trades for me, looking at stocks that are in and around VWAP for now. So I'm just going to try to hold off on that and see if we can get a little bit more play on VWAP-related names But yeah, Palantir's a good one. And then what's a drone name there? Well, AVAV is
AVAV. I just looked there, but it's, you know what, this
Rocket
is still...
Labs?
Rocket Labs? Oh, RCAT. Yeah, I was gonna say not Rocket Labs.
No,
RCAT, Red Cat
yeah.
could be one. That's
a good one. A lot of traders like that
Friday
stock.
chart. That's a much better. It's looking better than AVAV right now. 'Cause remember, AVAV got that downgrade, and to me, it's still underneath that support level that broke. Even though it's bounced quite a bit, it's still underneath that support on the daily. Oh, okay, this doesn't look as good. I was about to say it looked a heck of a lot better on a daily chart than it does on this 15 for RCAT. Like it's not. That's a rejection of multiple days of $15. Reject 15, reject 15, reject 15. So until you beat the sellers at the 15 level, close some candles above 15.5 or so, this might be a little bit tepid. It's only down a couple of points today, but yeah, not really seeing too much there in RCAT. It's worth keeping on the radar to see if it can challenge that $15 level eventually. But there might be some other names that are doing a little bit better. What else we got going on here? Yeah, AVAV got the. Oh, Kramer said he liked AVAV. That's not why it went down. They got it. So they got a downgrade. They had this. There's like an exclusive like space satellite blah 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 deal that they got going. That's like $1.2 billion. And the story was that contract could get broken up to multiple bidders. So like something that was exclusively, hey, they're going to get this money from the government. Is potentially getting broken up to multiple bidders, which would hurt their revenue. And so that's what, that wasn't the story, but that was the reason for the analyst downgrade. Like that's the reason that they cited. And so it lost that support level. And even on the rebound here, it's still underneath that prior support that we had from like right at the end of last year. So there's a there for that AVAV move and why it's relatively weak compared to the rest of the space. Until there's some update with regards to that contract, I think you got to be patient with this name. Even though I made it one of my picks, I mean, like it's a legitimate story and it does actually threaten some of their revenue.
Yeah, no, you got to. Sometimes we're gonna make calls and then you get these stories that
the
drop
frustrating
out
thing
of nowhere.
is, yeah, like my stop out triggered, so I'm out of this stock in my personal account. Like I can't even tell you that I still own this thing because I bought it here. Why is my 200 period? Oh, you have to zoom. That's what you have to do. You have to do this. That's better. Now you can see the 200 period. So it holds the 200 here, and then right at the beginning of the year, it was bouncing the 200 period, and then this stop level broke 2 days ago. It retook it for a bit. It's still trying to challenge, but I don't mind getting back into it, but I'm going to give this one some time for sure. Oh, we just had a super chat. I didn't see this, Danny's boy. Danny Boy's Disco Pants Emporium. How is it even possible that Obi isn't walking around the studio dressed like Silky Johnson with Babcock and Wilcox being up 42%? Why do I know Silky Johnson? Is that a Key and Peele?
Sounds like it.
Is Silky Johnson one of the haters?
PW is up 42% today. We don't even really know
today.
First of all, when we were here, and Obi's going to be filling in for
it's probably earnings. It's probably earnings.
Next week, so we'll get that all figured out. But yeah, I don't know. Even when he took this stock, I asked him what it did. He didn't know. But yeah, just an absolute monster call there. Oh, I guess it had faded. Okay, so when did we take these positions?
I think he just took it on the technical. I think it was.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So I think we took it. So he was basically
middle of the month.
Flat. Yeah, like I didn't even realize it came all the way back. So he's already, great call. I mean, huge call, obviously, right there, because I thought we did it on didn't we do it on January 12th?
Don't be rude.
Or so.
So somewhere in the middle of the month.
Yeah, so it was breaking out, and I think that's why he liked it. It was a nice move there. So it already made the move up, and then I didn't even realize that it came all the way back down to $8, because I remember looking at this when we were reviewing the results of the contest, and yeah, no, good one. This is the first I even looked at this.
Convoluted, I admit, but this one is a good pick.
Yeah,
that's Silky Johnson from Day. I don't have a toothpick.
Okay, so you got it.
You need to have a toothpick to do that, right? Though.
Silky is pimp Dave Chappelle.
There's a way better. Like I would do the other one because the best thing Silky does when they go back in time, and the player haters go back in time, and they go back to slave times. And he caps the dude, which is one of the funniest. I die laughing at it, but it's not many times that you could pull that off. There's so many things that Chappelle did that they wouldn't put it on TV now, man. Key and Peele wouldn't even do some of those skits. They don't have the guts. Straight up, Chappelle was one of a kind.
Yeah, Chappelle's great.
Yeah, he's one of a kind.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Okay, guys, just real quickly. All right, good. Talking about the wife. Yeah, so BW there. Was that earnings there, Dara? We could check out.
42%, how could it not be?
I don't know. I mean, what was
She's not at the desk? Hold on,
desk.
I'll type it in to see if
Here, I can type it into here and see. Here's BW, Babcock and Wilcox Enterprises. Yeah, it looks like that. Q4 earnings released today before market open. Shares are trading higher. The company reported Q4 annual results.
Yes.
The company announced it received full notice to proceed. There it is, on a $2.4 billion design and build agreement. So they got some sort of a deal today. It's not necessarily the earnings, as Neil just mentioned, because it looked like they missed. But Obi there, must know something about this $2.4 billion. Jesus, what is the market cap even of this stock? The market cap is $900 million.
Well, there you go.
Like, I'm picking trillion-dollar companies here. Next time we do this contest, I'm going to go a little under that. $900 million right there, but risky, right? So a risky play paying off right there. It's BW with a short float of just 5%. So there it goes, man. A good deal there for them. It's apparently anytime you're pushing a deal that is 2.5 times your market cap, you're probably going to go up.
The question is over what time period is. A lot of time, anytime you see a company that's worth that little relative to a big massive contract they get, it's like some 10-year deal.
Yeah.
And like that's like part of one of the reasons I was saying about AV. But first things first, I'll get right back to it. The M&R just got back to the local high. Now why am I getting out? Should be obvious. I was long into the same level and I rejected it before. So I'll leave it at that. This was not a VWAP bid, although it should have been. If it gets back into about 21.4 into the volume weighted average price, I would look for a reload. But just to finish that thought, that's one of the reasons why I just felt like AV's in trouble. Like, the equivalent of what happened to AVAV is that 2.4 billion. Imagine tomorrow on Babcock and whatever this thing is, that they said, oh, that 2.4 billion contract, did you guys, the deal that we love, that could get chopped up between 6 companies.
Yeah.
So what would happen to Babcock? Babcock would probably plunge.
I mean, obviously, we don't know any of those.
No, I'm not saying not the single thing.
Yeah,
that's what happened
to people
to
that are invested over there.
Yeah, that's what happened to AVAV, and one of the reasons why it looks a little bit weak.
All right, we do have a new position right here. I'm trying to work out on this Occidental. It's starting to go to the downside now, which is nice. Yeah, I am just going to get out of a little bit here on Google. I thought I was bidding 302.81s. Yeah, why did I not just get filled there? Okay, maybe wrong gateway. I just realized that, we just got punched in there. The Nasdaq didn't really fall down, on that most recent move right there. So I don't really know why Google just did that. So I'm a little bit skeptical of this position and was thinking about getting out there, because did we just test that bottom? Like, I put this stop order in to trigger to get in, right? I think that's just kind of how like to do things around here. Put in orders, trigger them to get in. But because the Nasdaq is not really falling down, and as soon as I did that, I got out of the Nasdaq, because I was like, okay, why, like, Google fall down, we're gonna go to the short. What is the Nasdaq doing? I went over there and noticed it was still up. So I just punched out right here before we breached that level to the downside. So I will take a little bit of a fill out here on the low end of this trade and see if we can't just get a little less shares. Like, I did not really want this if the Nasdaq was gonna hold up, right? Because Google go boom in the night, that is for sure. Like, one story and this thing is rocketing. I would rather have played the weakness in the Nasdaq and just thought that Google breaking zeros here, it's now flat on the day, breaking finally VWAP was a decent opportunity to get low, but no. So we'll take a 5-cent hit there on half, and then we'll wait to see where we go from there now on Google, because not going great right here, as we do not break the low of the day or even break this Q's level right here. That's ES, here's the Q's. There we go, same exact chart, but does not break there. So, not really worth messing too much around with this. So we are going to get out of a little bit of this Google trade and just see where it goes. So that's what I'm doing right there. The actual stop was always going to be somewhere around VWAP up there on the high side. So, we'll try to see if we can, negotiate a little bit better trading here on Google and just get some out as the stock seems like it wants to go higher here and not lower like we had thought on that initial break. So yeah, Google right now, do you take some out at, I didn't get the full fill there at 84 or whatever it was. So we'll take some more out there at 91s. And now we'll just hold on to Google and see if it exactly wants to get back to that low side. Google right now, not a very good friend of mine at these current prices.
Well, in the long term, I think it's.
Oh, in the long term is great. I won't actually, the long term, okay, the long, good segue there. I like this too. This is the one I'm waiting for.
I was going to say, like.
I'm literally like, I'm sitting on cash and would want, this is something that I have.
Are you stink bidding it?
In my, no, I'm not even bidding it. this is where I want, I think if it comes down here, we'll be fine. I could put a bid there. You know. Okay, Power.
Now it's got sound.
Okay, Power Hour. I see.
I never hear it.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's just wait on that one. All right. Google just went down into where we got short and then just popped again right there. So yeah, maybe we did find a level that we need to be a little bit more worried about now on Google. Let's see if it can break below. We just need the market to go, and then I think Google can follow suit. Oh, we do have Jeff Mendel potentially?
No, but he's in the calendar.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Jeff is in the calendar all the time, and he never comes through.
Come on, Jeff.
SoFi is at the volume-weighted average price, so we're going to get to that. Oh, before we get to... Actually, you know what? This is perfect timing. Perfect. So I'm going to be able to segue this into a question that we got. So watch
is
how...
Is he here?
Watch how... No, he's not. Watch
I thought you were like, this is...
No, the Power Hour is brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex, everybody, because volatility, like we have seen most of the day, not right now, is for sophisticated traders because it causes movement and opportunities. Beta Pro by Globex offers Canada's first... I don't know why I said Canada so loud.
You did say it loud.
And longest running suite of leveraged and inverse leveraged ETFs built for sophisticated investors who are looking to and understand the risks of leverage and the importance of the precision. Its triple leveraged bull and bear ETFs tied to the Nasdaq 100 are designed for daily tactical trades, providing amplified exposure and giving traders tools to engage with both upward and downward momentum. These strategies are currency hedged, seeking to offset US dollar exposure to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves, up or down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for your individual strategy, objectives, and task risk profile. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you, and I was going to segue that to something else, but we'll go to Adair first, and then I'll try to make it work.
I'm really sad I'm interrupting the segue now, but BA cannot be interrupted here. Boeing on watch. I'm seeing reports of a filing in federal court. DOJ reportedly filing a lawsuit against Boeing in federal court. Not much of a move here on Boeing, but just letting you guys know I am seeing this report again. Department of Justice, DOJ, reportedly filing a lawsuit against Boeing. I now have a link here to see said filing, so it does exist. Back to you.
So Beta Pro is currency hedged. And there was a question about someone, it might have been Ari, someone else was asking about trading something other than silver and maybe looking at XAG USD on the FX. If you are an FX trader, then absolutely you can. Now, why we wouldn't, because I actually don't think I'm entitled for it, because we have FX here at Real Trading, but because I couldn't pull it up, I know it's in the system because it comes up in the drop-down menu, but I haven't paid for entitlements for Forex because we don't trade Forex. So that is, for those of you that trade Forex, if you want to be trading silver, you absolutely can just look at, there's like a silver USD pair, and that's another way. Forex metals would be the market. So I thought I had entitlements for it, but I obviously don't. Patrick, technical analysis on STM. Wow, okay. We don't usually get like European.
ST Micro?
Yeah, that's the primary listings.
You can go to hell, Google, honestly.
Shoot, that's a European name, isn't it?
Yep, it's Italian.
Is it
on Milan. I don't know. I don't think it's.
Okay.
That's the time Italian. Well, I mean, they have some Ferraris.
The primary listing is somewhere in Europe. I don't remember.
Oh, it is Milan.
It is Milan.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in Milan.
I just don't know why it's listed in Milan. Is that where they're headquartered?
Well, I know it's in Europe. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's in
oh, come on, Google.
But this one looks great. STM, it's your classic stair-step pattern. You gotta like the fact that it's pulling back into some prior highs. I mean, it's kind of stuck in between this high and that high, but it wicked it anyway, so that's gonna be a good sign. Good recovery, but it's a rounded bottom. Probably needs to take out not even 33, like 33 and a half. The issue with these trades is if you're trading something with and you said Milan, so I'm just gonna go .m. Maybe not. Yeah, you know what, it doesn't, what can I?
Oh, it might not be ST.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just if you're trading something where the primary listing is in Europe, just remember if you're ever in an intraday trade, Europe closes 11:30 our time, Eastern time. So you'll usually see some volume spikes, or the volume will really die down. And I guess the best example would be here. Like look at the volume and then see the spike at 11:30, and then look at what happens afterward. And that'll be normal. For most days, you're gonna see that if the primary listing is there. So like here at 11:30, didn't really move, but then the volume really dies down. So it's almost like two halves of your day when you're thinking about any of those dual listed names. Sometimes people get freaked out if they're trading something. They're like, oh yeah, but it's on the New York. I'm like, oh, primary listings elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So there's similarly with ASML.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, the ticker is ST Micro, but is STMMI.
oh, that's why.
But that used for listing on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so but in ours though, I just called it up STMMI.
I can't.
It is here. That is Milan. Like we're right about it. I just don't know. So there's no quotes now. It's shut down.
Yeah.
The stock is not open right now. So I think that's probably why. But there it is. So STMMI. So there it is. Nice move, high side. All right, like you might have seen Google. Big middle finger to you, Google, although we really like the stock. Bruh. Come on, Sean, man. Trust your gut on that one, my guy. There's the punch short at 80s. At 60s. We're up on the stock. Everything's Gucci. Okay, but we did take out half, basically for about 10-cent hit, and then for flat. So let's call we took out half for about an 7 to 8 cent hit there. Is it going to continue down? I don't know. But for right now, it's making the move, and I'm actually seeing this happen right here because I don't want to talk, smack about it, and then it just rips up, and I wind up losing on this thing. But now, obviously, we're going to be net negative, net positive on this name, and don't want this thing to get into net negative territory. So just because this has been like a little Stugatz, I'm going to get out there. It's 301 if this breaks high side there on Google. So I'm going to change my stop now and put it out there. So it's changed 301.01. 301. See, I almost did it again. Won't trigger at 301. 303.01. All right, good. Calm down. There it is. We put the offer and we push enter, and then we go on that one. You talked about metals. Yeah, I mean, like silver, we were short silver there. Really started to cover it. I mean, short out VWAP, missed it. Was at the gym there. Put a bid when I was gone, obviously, on at 75.50 at that time in that range. Put some more when we got back there. We went back live on the midday. We talked about this. We put another bid there. Then it started to break the 50 period, got out, came back in, got out, took another bid at the low of the day, then made new lows, took more outs there again. And right here, because we are at this spot, I think it might be time to take another out. And this is the whole thing for me. It's like, I'm not, and people always are asking, how do you get good enough? Not to me, just how does anybody get good enough to understand, that I should got them all out down here or right there or whatever. I don't have that ability, so I'm just getting it out, like I said, at key levels, support and resistance areas. When we have major moves like this right there, I'm just going to get out the minute I start seeing it retrace back up. Then we have another major move down. We get out again. We're not even at the very low. Then another major move down. We get out. So guess what's happening right now? This is kind of another major move down on silver. We missed that. We should have had an out there as well. So let me just put a bid here. We might get 50s. We might not. I can just wait for it or punch 53s right now. Debate, okay, here it comes. Give me that 50 and then we won't worry about anything else. So we'll just wait for that one and see if it comes through. Same kind of ways on Occidental, just a bunch of shorts until finally something seems like it wants to work out. I'll put a bid there, punch them out at 19s. We do get that fill there on SLV. So we do get that 50 fill right there. So there's another out for us today on that one. Let's just let XOM, hopefully, XOM, OXY, Oxy, did I say XOM twice? Get low again. Maybe, just maybe we can get back into this 53 area, which we're getting close to that right now, and we'll be able to cover some more on this one. We only have about 20% left of our initial position here. Just a bunch of shorts. We did get stopped out right there at 41 the first time on that break, and I was pretty nervous about this position. Not great there at all. Will AVGO, Neil, be up or down after earnings? Down.
Yes, I've voted bear time as well.
Yeah.
Someone just asked about it, so we made the poll.
I only think that we're going to go to Darren in a second. I only think it's going to be, I think the report's going to be better.
It's the same thing as NVIDIA.
Like, NVIDIA was literally a monster, man. I mean, we were looking at 63% data center revenue, and they got like 73% or something, like absolutely monstrous. So I'm going to say down. I mean, unless they've reinvented the wheel, I just don't know, man. I trust NVIDIA and their earnings.
Which is a hard thing to do.
More than anything.
Wheel's pretty good.
They would have, so. Thank you. I am a lot younger than Kramer. Thanks, Finch Jane. I'm glad that was even a question. Okay, let's go back over to Adara.
We're talking Broadcom up or down. I'll go like down. I'll go neutral to down, but that's not the point. I want to talk about Amazon. AMZN on watch Amazon Web Services, or AWS. They have introduced OpenClaw on Amazon Lightsail to run AI agents. So OpenClaw announcement here for AMZN could potentially be a good look. I'm seeing this circulate a couple times now. Some more comments here with regards to like coming from Iraq on Iran, nothing massive, just letting you guys know that is in fact happening. I have a lot of content ahead of earnings tonight. I'll share that when we get closer to 4 p.m. Eastern. But unfortunately, even though we're not going to have the market recap show, just be aware, I will be posting earnings content a couple minutes before each of the major reports. So you guys will be kept apprised. Back to you.
I see there in the chat. KNTU, if I can find it, it wasn't obviously, that's funny about my agent Kramer, but it was just, you said something like,
not even close.
Here it is right here. Yeah, no, I'm a couple years older than you.
Not even in the ballpark.
No, I just wanted to say this. Okay, what is tanking right now? Is it Google? Oh, it's Google. Google just absolutely collapsed, and now we are starting to make that money. Shoot. That's too bad, man, because we really did nail this Google short, and we put on, it was in the hundreds of shares, not in the thousands, so it's not a huge job there. But this was the question right here. Mr. Jim Cramer gives you the company while Sean is using technical and you have no position. So I just asked you in the chat what stock. If it's Occidental, that makes sense because if that's what you're referencing. But oh man, Neil, we could have just put on a lot of damage there. But you know what, we're trusting the damn process, man. We actually broke down this Google trade. Before, like we were breaking it down when it was over here. We liked it. It ripped up there. Obviously, those shorts would have been key. We weren't thinking short. It takes down that low, and there she blows. Yes, let's go, Google, man. We said NVIDIA was P&L #1. Google giving me those feels right now. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here. I'm seeing some comments in the chat. Someone asking me expected move today on Broadcom. Working on that right now. I'll have that infographic for you soon. Though I wanted to talk here about CVX. Trump here posting on Truth Social, quote, oil is beginning to flow from Venezuela, so keep an eye on some of these oil plays, including CVX, XOM, etc., talking about Venezuela in a Truth Social post. People were asking as well in the chat what happened to that 3 p.m. announcement with Trump. As we know, he is occasionally mildly to severely late. As of right now, about 12 minutes late. The White House stream is open, though, which is not always as of this point, so it does say we will begin shortly. Hopefully, we do, in fact, begin shortly, but either way, I will know the second he takes the stage and this event begins. Back to you.
Thank you, Dara, and I'm slipping out. Just nice last move, but mentioned SoFi at VWAP because VWAP is an afternoon play. We gotta wait. Sometimes you have to wait for it to get up and show you that lower high, a little bit better of a play. But it looks like some buyers just came in pretty decently at the 70 spot. So it tried to break through that even dollar or even 10-cent level. Couldn't really do it. If we get to VWAP one more time, I don't know how much I'll love. If it's before 3:30, there could be time for one more shot at this, but I feel as if it's getting a little bit long in the tooth here. Modesta says Broadcom 400 tomorrow.
What's it at right now?
Look, there isn't a person out there that doesn't. If you wouldn't be happy with Broadcom at 400 tomorrow, then you're like a hater on them. You just don't like the markets. I don't even own Broadcom, but I own enough of the Qs and the SPY that absolutely I'll be really happy if this goes to 400. I just feel pretty skeptical about it. It's just we've seen a theme that it literally doesn't matter what you do on earnings and how good they might be or how impressed we are with the numbers. It's just been, we've been selling off time and time again, and that's just been the reaction. So much so that when CrowdStrike was flat today, I called that a win this morning. CrowdStrike wasn't flat. It was down 1.5%. And I'm like, that's a win. Like, that's a win for Crowd because these other names have been double digits to the downside in this space, even though they've also had, they've also beat top bottom and had solid guidance. It's just, Yeah, I'd be skeptical. I would love it to get to $400. If Nvidia's quarter wasn't enough for it to even be up the next day, it gave its move back and then be down significantly within a couple of days. I can't see what Broadcom is going to tell us that would warrant that kind of a move. So if it does, I guess that would be maybe that's the thing that takes a SPY and the Nasdaq back to the highs. But I'm real skeptical about it on Broadcom. And remember, Broadcom is a stock, we've seen this before, where even if it's up after market, completely meaningless, because sometimes we'll come in the next day and it'll give up that move overnight. So that's another reason to be a bit skeptical, because I've seen that pattern in the past.
Yeah, that's what patterns are, right? I mean, they're meant to be followed
until they break.
Until they break, yeah. So that's why you have to look at those, and that's the whole point of technical analysis. Really, it's pattern recognition and finding something that you've tested and believe in and can roll with it. Because obviously, not every single trader, and we're gonna hear about this with Obi next week, because I know he talks about this. Like, you can take 10 shots and be right on one of them and still be net positive, as we talk about that as well. So. I'm gonna take another fill on silver here. I don't know, heading into the close, how much did we nail this as well? Money. This right there, getting out of that, we actually talked about this as potentially being a top-sided trade right there. So the fact that we're up as what we are up right now on the TQs is good, because we would have given it all back if we had held and didn't get anything out, or held a majority of it, but we got flat. Told you, the minute we got that Google trade, we went the other way on that, and we started to go short. So we should have gone short in the futures, but did not. Okay, man, silver, whoops, silver. There it goes, another move lower, land. Let's put a bid right here. 74, let's get greedy, man. Let's go to 74. Sometimes you gotta do these things. Let's go to so I'm at 74.02. We didn't get that yet. We're gonna go to 74.85. Sorry, 74.90. I just put it into. Let's see if silver wants to continue to bleed down. This is gonna be a big trade there today as well. We don't have enough shares for this. Make this one P&L number one. And we are getting lighter on Google. I just put a tweet out right there that we only have 25% left of our Google trade right now. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go over the broader market just quickly to see, because banks and some of these other names that we really haven't focused on. I know Neil was looking at Oscar earlier as well. But this is what it looks like now, man. Very, very green as we talk about the SPY and the ES up 0.85. That's the S&P 500. And then the Nasdaq up 1.7% at its highs, now up 1.5%. But everything green pretty much today. The biggest bank apparently to worry about here is JP Morgan, down 0.5%. To me, that's whatever. Amazon's real nice, up 3.66%. I don't even remember what the story is there. I know we had those data centers that potentially got hit over the weekend on those Iranian bombs and drones.
What was the story? Amazon cost cutting by.
Oh yeah, but that was in the middle of the day, wasn't it? We didn't really see that reaction from them. But anyways, Adair's got something else apparently. Let's go.
I just want to let you guys know here, President Trump is about to take the podium. I'm hearing the intro be played in, so he's going to be starting right now. If there are any, Caroline Levitt mentioned, there are going to be CEOs here. If there's anybody of note, I'll keep you posted. But I also want to let you guys know we do have, or it's not quite out yet, but we're going to be posting it right now. It's finished. This TTV research implied earnings infographic for tonight after the bell. Broadcom, smallest implied move by a large margin, 7.2% implied move. Largest goes to our friend Cracker Barrel, 14.4% implied move. But yeah, AVGO here, only one with implied move of below 10%. Trump just started talking, so I'm going to start listening to that. I'll keep you guys posted, though. Back to you.
All right, Adara's Super Bowl begins now.
Mover. Market. Anytime Trump is talking, you never really know. He's talking about AI, I think. And
energy. So that's why I just wanted to say, guys, I had a couple of thousand shares, now I have a couple hundred shares on Oxy. So it's not, we got out of it. Obviously we averaged in, we got stopped out there, but this was much bigger play right into that level there, and thankfully it holds, man. Our stop was 45s, and we almost got stopped out, and then it fell right back in, and most of the covering is right into here. So again, we're not trying to do anything too crazy there. There's the cover at the 200. There's the cover at the 50. There's a bunch of covers at VWAP. There's only one cover underneath. We break back above. Look at that, and now we get Trump. So pretty happy. Obviously wishing it went down, but the amount of money that we made back on that, if that breaks right there, then we have a big red mark, and today we don't then. So all good over there. Today we'll still stay green, but we need to get greener on the day. Let's go back to Adara. She's going to be dropping some stories for us, I feel like, pretty actively over the next half hour.
Been a busy bee over here. Let's talk about META. It looks like we have more executive commentary from Meta, possibly. Again, we know they were at the TMT conference. Not sure if that's where this is from, but this could be where it's from. An individual at Meta saying, quote, the hope is to develop silicon chips to train AI models. Also, President Trump already talking about Iran, saying on a scale of 1 to 10, he'd rate it at a 15. So he's very happy with how things have been going in Iran, also saying that, quote, we're in a very strong position now. Again, this event is on the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, which has to do with some of these companies who are involved in AI or these data centers helping pay the cost for said AI and data centers. If I get more details throughout this event, I will certainly keep you posted, including the attendees. Back to you.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. I did everything right, and they indicted me.
Yeah, they did indict him, but when you are the president, your indictment does not last very long.
I don't ever remember that.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, don't be rude, guys, on that one. All right, let's look at Coinbase. I mean, Bitcoin now at 73.4, so yeah. About Coinbase, man, that was a missed opportunity for me, for sure. We could have had that pre-market take. And, I think tomorrow, next time I say something like that, I'm just going to do it. Even if I do it on small shares, 50 shares, something like that, we'll be able to still be able to appreciate a move like that. I mean, even if you have 50 shares there, it goes $5, that's $250. So, that would be fine for me on that. Obviously looking for more, but whatever. And I was just talking about $5 because it was that, well, I guess it was $4. It was that 196 break right there, right up to 200. And even if you get out of half when that happens, you still got extended out to 204, falls back in right into where you needed it to, into VWAP again, and hasn't seen VWAP since. So Coinbase, not at the highs, but see, this is looking to me a little Google-esque again. Like, what about if we break right there? The only problem with Google breaking versus Coinbase breaking is you're also going to have to trust the process with crypto and that breaking lower. That's the only way for Coinbase to get going. This does not look as clean to me as what it looked like on Google. However, you are underneath, starting to turn over. I do not mind this short, but won't be one that I'm taking, but just letting you guys know, right into there for Coinbase, up 15%. I don't know if there's enough time left. It's still 320, so we'll have to wait. Looks like we are getting a little bit of a move down there as we just capture one more piece on Google, and yeah, good trade there. Really happy, like not happy that we got out of half, literally half. Maybe it might have been a little bit less. Let's just say half. Half right there for flat because we were nervous because the Nasdaq didn't break, and then all of a sudden, floodgates, she opened, and yeah, there that goes to the downside, creating a great opportunity for us to get out of our futures, which we did right there, and then down goes the market right here. I said the Nasdaq was only up 1.5. That is what it's up right now. $50.80 high there for the NQs, TQQs. But yeah, good call going short the market in the afternoon. It's 320 now. No major earnings. Adair just went over them. A few names that we'll watch tomorrow for sure.
One major earning.
Today's big one was CrowdStrike, I guess, and there was GitLab. That's been getting hit.
Yeah, that's been getting hit for sure. Not a great day for GitLab, but a great day for the market. Might be rolling back over, but I'm going to jump back in. It's 320. There's still some time, but it'll have to be a relatively tight stop on SoFi. I like the trend down, but just basically getting in where I was out before and doing what I feel like probably would have made more sense would have been to put a trailing stop in. So in lieu of that, jump in at the same price that I exited and give it a really tight trailing stop. That way, if we get to VWAP, I'm not really getting rinsed, but if we push into the low of the day, then we're looking good. By the way, there's some rather decently sized imbalances here. NU is already 9.5 million to the buy side. There's 25 minutes till the imbalances actually come out. So this does give us a pretty good look. EWY, it's an ETF, 2.3. RKT, 5.4 million to the buy side as well. So a couple of interesting imbalances, to say the least. 10 million shares on new, it's done 4.3 million on the day. It's not really moving yet, and then RKT has done 14 million, and it's a 5 million imbalance. This one is moving on the imbalance. So it might be worth tracking. It's on the run and moving. I think because of this imbalance, if I had to guess, there's nothing else happening. The market's going down. There's no news here in RKT. So that significant buy imbalance is causing the stock to break out. I usually like to play this counterintuitively in that if there's no index action, which none that I'm aware of, and there's no actual news on RKT, I would expect that it's gonna pair off. So ideally, you get closer to 350 and it hasn't broken the high yet. If it comes out at the same size or maybe a little bit smaller, look for a push into the high of the day, and then in front of 355, it pairs or flips, and then play a little reversal trade when that imbalance pairs off. I wouldn't want to chase that move, because anyone that punched in is already riding this trend from when that imbalance showed up. I just noticed it now, everybody. And Carwana in the chat was like, well, we can settle on hopefully 360 for a VGO. I hope so, man. I don't believe it. I'll believe that they want to buy tech stocks on earnings when it starts happening this quarter. That's kind of, I'm like a prove it to me kind of person. And what they've been proving, what the market's been proving to us is that just has not been the case. Pops Mafia, what is N? Oh, on the imbalance locator. So B's are obviously buy imbalances, S is sell, and N is neutral, which I'd have to go look it up again to see what that means. I've always found it frustrating. There's a certain state, like it'll go neutral, but usually it'll pop one way or the other, because you can see there is an actual imbalance on SGov. So like when it's showing you that, I can't tell you which direction it's in. I just know that that symbol means neutral. I've never traded anything that has the neutral on it. At times, if I was trading something that had a big imbalance, I see it flip to an N, I might use that as an excuse to get out, because then I don't know what's going on at that point. But it's a great question. It's not something that we utilize. I only care if you're showing me a significant buy or sell. To me, no information means no edge, and no edge means no trade. At least that's the way I look at it. The other name that I got on mind is BMNR, which it did bounce off VWAP, and I didn't reload it, so that's a bit of a fail. The two names we're looking at here. BMNR was a good long before, but I was going to let it get to the volume-weighted average price. It came close enough that it should have been an entry, but at the time was feeling pretty bearish, like the SoFi short at the time, so that's what we did. Then we'll see how this one goes. But this could be a little something, but I want to make sure what's going on with ETH. Can't really trade this. You could, but I don't want to trade this if ETH still looks like it's on the back end, and it does. So my confluence would be, are we moving upside in ETH? Are we moving upside in BTC? No, we are not. We're actually trending down. So that kind of moves me away from that BMNR trade. Because you want there to be confluence. I like to try to be, not just being particular, because I'll trade a bunch of stocks, but at the moment that I'm looking to enter it, it needs to show me A, a setup, B, a reason to get in, and then B, a setup. And hopefully it's got some multiple reasons to get in the trade, and not just something completely random. I'm not really a big fan of that. And Wendy's Tendies, yeah, I'm with you on that. ETH is still underneath 2,200. It's not yet for ETHA. And this is not going to be the best example of it, because this is the ETF, obviously, but the chart's going to be effectively the same on the daily. Like, we're not really broken out of this gap. I think if we can start taking that next leg higher, that's when you can go. But it's wild to me. We were joking about this. It wasn't really a joke. We were talking about how far we came back here on ETH. Like, we got cut more than in half. There's a lot of room for it to run. And I do believe that if it does run, then Tom Lee's going to be happy, and you should ride with BMNR for the momentum. I do not believe whatsoever in these treasury plays. Like, if I want to own Bitcoin, I'm going to own Bitcoin. If I want to own ETH, I'm going to own ETH. I'm not going to buy BMNR. But for an actual day trade, sometimes it does make sense to be in the other instrument. You might get a little bit more bang for your buck. And that's part of it as well. So kind of is what it is. SoFi, we gave the reload, giving it to that lower high. It looks like it wants to break it out. So it's like 1 more cent. And this is par for the course, right? Like, you try to hold the winners a little bit longer, but this SoFi, it's got like 2 more cents in it, and then it could go. And I have nothing against Tom Lee. I'm not trying to make a joke about Tom Lee or anything. I'm just not, I've just never have, and probably never would invest in any of those treasury plays. You can trade them. They're great trading vehicles, especially intraday. It's just, I feel like we're about to get.
No, Trump just said the name of the Oracle co-CEO, which is Clay Magourik, as Clay Mookwork.
They say, I didn't catch that.
The guy's name is Clay Magourik, and he just said Mookwork, which is, there's no W in that name. Like, it's a weird name to spell, but it's not Mookwork.
It's not as bad as when John Travolta called the singer from Frozen, Idina Menzel.
Oh yeah,
and he called her like
an award ceremony.
And he's like Adele Dazeem. Yeah. It's like, bro, like, come on, man. But what I love about that moment is like he didn't even you don't want to. He must have known he had no clue and was gonna butcher it. And he just said it confidently. Like I'm just gonna spit that out there like this is actually right.
Right. And once you realize it's wrong, you kind of keep going on it, right?
Yeah. I love Travolta, by the way. Classy
guy. I don't know.
No, I mean Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, great movies. That's for sure. I don't know enough about him. Scientology.
Well, I'm talking about the actor.
I just want to say, like, so, as we had, feeling good about getting out of Google there, obviously it's ripped back up right now. So I'm still going to use 303. I mean, the market absolutely taking off of those lows right there. Really no reason, doesn't look like anyways, any reason for necessarily to do that. Adara's got more news right here. What's up, Adara?
President Trump said Google's a great company. That was the news, actually. And I'm just posting this right now, but the executives or CEOs at this event include Google, Meta, and Microsoft. Those are not CEOs, those are just presidents. He also said the CEO of OpenAI was there, but it's not the CEO because it said Brad Lightcap and not Sam Altman. So someone from OpenAI is there. We have a CEO of Amazon Web Services, so not Amazon, but AWS, that'd be Matt Garman. Again, co-CEO of Oracle, whose name is not Clay Mukwerk. He is also present, Clay McGurk, and XAI executive also here. So tons of heavy hitters in AI, but he specifically praised Google, and he also praised Meta's president, Dina Powell, Dina Powell McCormick, and for what it's worth, he also worked with her previously, so he already knows who she is, like, personally. Back to you.
Hey, I got stopped out there at 300 on purpose, like 303. Remember, we put our stop there, so it's all good. But we didn't really go the other way there, like upside. We kind of just stopped around. So I'm going to try it one more time right here and see if we can get some of this short back in. We'll punch a little bit of 94s. I'm going to give this one now to 303.10, 303.10, 11s. Just that's basically was the top wick there. Yeah, 303.06s or so. So let's just try and see. We just punched short and it just went down to 86 there. Wow. Pretty violent name. Let's see if we go back to the low side there on Google. I mean, I don't ever want to. I just sort of, oh shit, come on, president. All right, doesn't matter. We didn't have that many shares, so whatever. We're back in it, so we should be fine with this trade. Let's bid something out at 79 there as we just went back into 80s and bounced again right there. That's your 50-period moving average. That's where we tried it. I can even tell you what the sort of the damage was on that one. I don't think it was very much at all. How much did we have left? About, yeah, not even. So we had about 15% left or so. So I actually just put on the exact same amount back on into this short again at this level. So I'm going to bid 8. I'm bidding 79. I don't know why, but we'll see if that one wants to fill. It seems like things have just danced around a little bit. Occidental went all the way back up to the upside. I was reheating my coffee, so I did not get to short that one, nor did I see any of these plays. 53.32 on Occidental maybe now. But our stop is in there for Google, so hey man, if it works out and it wants to, wow, what? Okay, so there goes oil right there, obviously, or something that President has said. I was just putting my orders in right
supposed
here.
To be talking about AI and energy. So.
Yeah, we knew he was talking that. So that's part of the trade about getting out, right? We talked about getting out of this trade a lot earlier. So we're doing that. We did not, there it is, we're out. We did not reload this name. Fine, good for us to be able to get out. Not good that we retraced back up, but we did much better than we had hoped. So there it goes. President talking, never a good thing to ever go against or anything like that. So we'll get out. We don't know. Adair's going to bring us any news, but there's the out. VWAP looks like it was key. And we talked about where we had got out and why. So I obviously wish we had more outs there, but no reload out on Occidental as it breaks higher.
We have a couple of super chats. Thank you, Andre, for getting up. We got Balake K was Nikki? Okay. Blake K was Nikki.
Stock.
Oh, yeah, you're in Canada, $2 Canadian. What do you think about Help? Stock, psychedelic, man. It's got to be better than MindMed. Everyone's favorite. And the reason why it should be everybody's favorite is because you just think about how much money MindMed is, whatever. I lost some money on MindMed back in the day. Is this a recent IPO? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the stock, so the first thing, when I see it not around that long, I'm just going to pull it up on another on another platform, because yeah, like for some reason, when I pull that up here, I have nothing from January the 5th, but when I go into eSignal, I got a lot of price history. Something obviously happened at the beginning of the year here, whether it came to market, rebranded, or just an older ticker had help before and these guys took them over. This is a pretty easy one to analyze. V-shape, death since it started, and double top breakout. Usually get some squeeze action when that's the case on help. As far as the space goes, I was done with it after MindMed because this is a psychedelic one. MindMed, I think, who was it that still likes it? That's still in this.
Was it Michael?
Was it Michael or Sharif?
Oh, Sharif, I think, is in it.
I just remember I was in MindMed for a while when thought it was an SB thing, and I kind of believe in the concept. It's not like I didn't like it. It's just probably the timing really bad for it. I suppose would be the best way to think about it. And hopefully, I do really think, like, for medicinal reasons, but on top of that, like, people, no one wants to drink anymore, and it's a new generation that's more open. But at the same time, it didn't work out well for me. What, is that a super chat with no name on it?
Maybe.
Oh, it's okay. So this is Danny's Boy again. Danny's Boy's Disco Pants Emporium. Just so you guys know, on the swing trade front, there's a meeting at the White House with the heads of RTX, Raytheon, and others about increasing production ASAP. Which, of course, well, they already said they have unlimited supplies of everything, so why would they need more production?
Right,
but of course they do. The Patriot shortage is a real concern. I get it, man. The burn rate. So how is RTX not worth a bet long? Raytheon's a great company. Now, out of the get-go, I understand there's plenty of people who just don't believe in investing in defense names, for their own reasons. I get that. It's why some people didn't like the tobacco industry, whatever it might be. But there is absolutely no denying that in a general sense, even if there is no conflict going on, military spending goes in one direction, just like all government spending. Let's just keep it real. So these charts on long terms, they look exactly the same and pretty much what you would expect. I never feel like at the time of a conflict is where I'd want to buy the top. I always feel like the best trending stocks, because the money's always flowing in, are always more dip buys than anything else. So I'd be hesitant to want to buy like this, hey, we're in the middle of a conflict, let's buy this right now. Kind of deal. But I think buying the stock on dips has never been wrong. Look at the trend. And I could put this up on any time frame. Let's put it up on a 3-month. Because I think it probably looks gorgeous in almost every single way. Like, look at it on a 3-month. Would you want to buy it up here? Or would you want to buy a dip? I don't know. Like, this is insanity the last few months. And this is also the reason why every single time that Rackspace stock would come up, I would say RTX. Because one of these things prints people money, and I understand their business might not be what everyone likes, and the other one is Rackspace.
Right. And that was the other thing. And people, looking for swing trades. It makes sense. We talked about a name like a Palantir or something like that with all these sort of drones and unfortunate wartime situation happening across the Middle East. Definitely good plays available if you're looking in that space. Okay. I just realized that VWAP was there. Like, we sort of was panicking and getting out a little bit there of Google. I'm going to give it to 20 cents, 303.20 right now. Just short right here, right now. I don't, we just lost twice in a row there. We won pretty nicely there for sure. We lost here because we gave it back. It was more that last trade there at 300. We got out at 10s, but that was VWAP, and then it didn't break. So this is more the trading that we want to see. We want to see failed VWAP break and then make the move back in. So definitely a panic situation for me there early by getting out. Same way we did on the way down when we didn't think it was working. But okay, so here comes a little fall down. So we just get that fill. We got 93s there as it's maybe going to break a little lower. That was like, for President Trump to come out and say he likes Google, I mean, that's going to be tough to hold that short when that's happening. Maybe now the market will give it back a little bit for us and we can get back to the low side. I don't expect anything like this kind of a move to happen now. I think there's probably a bid underneath it. So if we get something in the 80s, I'm going to put a bid there now. See if we do come into like the mid 80s, take another fill there. We just got 93s. If we can get 85s, that'll be okay. But if it rips higher, we're stopping out on 20. So that would give us 15 cents worth of risk. We just took 15 cents. So hopefully that would be at least a 1-to-1 there with hopes that we're underneath VWAP and we can get a little bit lower. Here's 1-to-1 again. So if you want that, okay. What did I just say I was bidding? Boom, we got it. All right, so those were good. Now let's see if we can get even lower now on Google. And it's just too bad that we had ignored that, and I just panicked and put a stop order real quick. So nice move to the downside right now for Google. Silver's still doing its own thing, man. It did make a move higher. We didn't average into it. It's 340 now, so we're now 10 minutes away from the imbalances. So who really knows
still
where these stocks are going to go?
Still big. New and Rocket are
New is
still
there?
pretty big. 9.5 million to buy and still 5.4 million to buy. Easy peasy. You know, see, this is how we know you're keeping it true, because $2.28 is so completely random that it has to be 0.2% of what you made today. Like, that's the easiest way. Like, it passes the smell test. The box chart analysis yesterday, that's all we can ever do. Is we can analyze the chart and go over it.
Like it.
But I wish sometimes it would. It doesn't always lead to a trade for whatever reason. Like my biggest regret yesterday was missing ASTIS or ASTS.
Let's go, Google.
Because it had a great setup, but there wasn't a particular, you know, like it was one of those, it was after earnings, but it wasn't really doing anything. It was flat. So usually flat on earnings, and you're like, yeah, there's nothing really happening, but it was a really good setup on this breakout trade. And then it continued, and then look at the continuation. Like, there's your breakout consolidation, and it's just literally the same thing the second day in a row, like 2 days in a row, up 14%. And that's a bit of a segue because Fabian just sent this to me. He gave a facelift to the portfolio tracker.
Oh.
So I haven't looked. I just pulled it up now, so I haven't looked at the changes.
What did he do to it?
Here's the facelift, and he's got the different colors.
I thought that was always the like
here.
that.
So it's got the percent change on it. Obi still winning with the 18. Obviously 42% up on, where'd it go?
Oh, you got to click on his name.
Oh, if I just go,
No, down here.
Oh, down here. I can't do it up there.
No, dude. On the tabs.
Oh, on the tabs, okay. Yeah,
Find OBI.
Well, I thought maybe you could do it on
There.
the thing. There we go, that's
You'll
better.
see.
So now all of a sudden, it's this BW, which is now up 44%. And all but 2% of that is today. All but 2%.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was just
Today.
back at the price.
Yeah, which is insane.
I just want to, thanks Fabian for doing that, obviously, as a lot of people are interested in that. So am I. But I just want to show you, Google, we just got 54s on Google. So like, I just, just want to say like risk management for me is what it's all about. We're going to continue to preach that. And I just, getting stopped out, for 10 cents, like we talked about, that was probably too quick of a stop out, but I told you we put back the same amount of shares, and so we're starting to cover now. I only have half left. Actually, I have, half left. One of these must have been more than, I was trying to go 10% each time, but that was a good move all the way down. I don't know why that spiked all the way down there into the 50s, but we'll take that. And on that note, I'm gonna take another bid right here at 81, because we are moments away from those imbalances, and if Google comes out a buy, then this thing ain't gone. Upsides. We get an 81 fill there. We'll see if it wants to continue to drip down. All right, SNDK, Micron, lots of different names moving around. You know what, I want to check out Disney for a second there, because some of the travel names have been moving around lately, and I think Disney, obviously with their parks, big business, but I still think that they can do a little bit better on the travel side of things. They have a bunch of, I don't know how many ships they have, maybe 10 ships or something. But the cruise game, obviously going to get hit there. You're at a pretty good breaking spot by the looks of it, to me anyways, here on Google. On Disney. If you break this 101 area, I mean, even if you wick down to 100, this looks like this is going to fail, for me anyways, on Disney. So be careful with this move back in on DIS. Just think that if it breaks that 100, we're going to be in for a problem.
You've seen that same Disney on like a really long time frame?
I mean, I know I liked the $80 level.
I think this is sort of the problem. Like, it's been 125. This is a 3-month chart. Like $125. I don't want to give up on this yet, because into this brick wall since like the pandemic bottom, literally double bottom off the COVID lows, it's been putting higher lows on a 3-month time frame into this potential break. So until it stops that pattern, I still feel like it's going to get its due and break out. Like I always say, just because they can't get Star Wars right doesn't mean this company can't work. Let's go to Adara.
Keep an eye here on this market. I do have more news coming from Israel and Iran. We do have the Iranian Revolutionary Guard claiming that they destroyed 7 advanced hostile radars, saying that the U.S. and Israeli eyes in the region have been blinded. So they're basically saying they're taking out a lot here, I guess, with regards to Israel and the U.S. within Iran. Trump also commenting on crypto, saying that, quote, in crypto, we want to be dominant. Back to you.
Shout out to Trump. And I mean,
U.S. dollar dominance is also too, because all of these stable coins denominated in USD. That's another way from if they get their way, that's another way for them to keep.
I think that's why we talk about a name like Circle, which has really gone absolutely crazy off their earnings call. Like, just wow, 60. It's doubled. Like, Circle has doubled since Feb 10th, March 4th. So that was $54 or so right into here on, let's just say early February, whatever. You're picking the bottom is kind of cheap to do that. But even if you talk about right before earnings, man, $60, you're up to 105 today and really not showing too many signs of slowing down. I mean, you know, there is blue skies ahead. I mean, the next sort of support level isn't really until 120, which is all the way up. And, you know, nothing can stop it. It's all the way up. And there goes Circle. Even today, just keeps on going. Grinded a little bit earlier, right? I mean, forget about the first half hour. Like, if you're going to look at any of these stocks that are sort of in any kind of a volatile space type of thing, the first half hour is pretty difficult, especially for a name like Circle. But looks like it did find a bottom there at $100, and then just since then, it's kind of just grinding its way upside. I still think the short will come in like any negative story, this name's going to get hit just because of the movement it's had to the north side. But for right now, yeah, Circle really looking like it's going to put out another move up into that 120 area. I like Circle there.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine if Bitcoin has made a temporary bottom, it's going to win.
That's the other thing, right?
You can't run away from it. Oh, you know what? That just reminds me. We have 15 minutes, and whoops. Oh, shoot, 4 minutes until the imbalances come out.
I'm going to be careful with
after the bell is also going to be Webull. We've gotten a lot of questions about Webull. What do you like going into earnings? I'm not.
It's after the bell?
Like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole before the earnings, but we did point out this morning, and I'm no longer in this. Bought it off 10 twice, worked once. Second time did not. It obviously lost structure when it lost $10, but it's been barcoding or consolidating off 6 for a while, that there can be a post-earnings play to the long side. So it is one I'll be watching. Actually, now that I think about it, the 3-day rule will mean I might, if I want to pick this one up next week, I will do it from the diamond. And last year, everything I bought at spring training worked. Mostly because this time last year, people were freaking out and the market was in this like little downward spike, so you couldn't lose. I think that was the first game we went to of the week. And I pulled out my phone, and like Meta was down 5%. It was the day that like everything was getting smoked, and I was like, okay, let's put some stink bids in here, and enjoy the sun and a beer, and it all worked out pretty nicely. But yeah, Webull is going to be on radar. I don't know if it's going to be a good day trade tomorrow, but it's been holding out long enough. Even a solid couple of days would be good enough to get an entry next week, I would think. Just take a shot off that $6 level, but it needs to show a good number and actually not tank tomorrow to set that up.
Oh, man. I am just, like, honestly just trying to piece out this Google, man. We got more shorts at VWAP. Just heading into, like, we're short at 15s. Okay, there it is. The last time it broke through, I didn't catch that bid, but I do now. And there it is. So we just catch that bid. Okay, into the 20. I'm bidding 79s here. Let's bid an 86 there. We'll fill that. We'll cancel our set. Actually, let's go a little bit lower. Let's go to 75 now. Put a bid out there. Maybe we catch it. But there it is, man. Reload it again. We told you we would reload it.
Another one.
Oops, wrong button. All right, so we did reload Google there. And again, like, just kept on talking about risk management, and we just did it again. Our stop was 20s. So good job there. Hopefully the short will pay us into the close. And that's all that we can really hope for. Occidental, too bad, man, that really turned out higher. Good on everybody else, but like, you know, we were short that name, and then eventually we will wind up red on that as it breaks higher. Occidental to the moon right now. Up, it was red. That's why we initially chose it, because it was one of those red names. Robinhood broke 80 today. This was another name that was on the note. We only had a couple names on the sticky note today. They were, here, let me just review it so I don't even remember, although it's right in front of me. There it is right here. We had Nvidia 180 long. I mean, that's the face slapper of the day for me. We had the Tesla long 393. The bottom was 396. We'll wait to see that tomorrow. Palantir long never got to 146, but it did hold VWAP as we mentioned. We're going to have to look at VWAP tomorrow for that one. And there's the hood long break at 80. That was one that almost hit immediately and or dips into 77. None of those hit. Except, well, the break did, not the dip for Robinhood. So this is what Robinhood looks like today. This is the problem is early on, we actually broke it in the pre-market. We broke 80 bucks. We fell back in there, went to 79. It was, I guess it was that next break, right? The break once the market opened happened right again at 8:30. Those are just, for me, a little too risky for taking breaks right away on the open. And it looks like that did make sense because it does go to 81.50. Then it comes back and you just could have reloaded it there anyways. And at that time, you would have had VWAP and the 50-period moving average. So you would have had some support behind you on that break. So, all right, man, we're 15 seconds away. Let's just see what winds up happening. We got some lower bids on Google. Hopefully we'll get out of that one. And we just got out of some more silver there as well. So let's see what happens with Google. I'm going to put another bid just before this number comes out.
It bounces in 3 seconds or so. I'm actually going to trim some on SoFi. New was expected big. And it's still
I don't even know what's happening.
8.8 million on new. We've got Peloton, 1.5 million on the sell side. Cisco, 1.2 million buy. I don't see Google. Apple, 900,000 buy. Nvidia, 900,000 sell.
Google
MSTR, 800,000 buy on MSTR. Tesla, 800,000. I still don't see Alphabet.
Okay.
SoFi ends up a buy. So I'm probably going to, punch out of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, but there's the move down on Google, man. We got like 50s. Okay. Our stop is literally 23s. So we have an 8-cent worth of a stop, and we just grabbed 70 cents on that low. We grabbed it another time right now because we don't believe it. And here comes Google, hopefully to the downside. Nvidia with the sell, I think, is helping out this market for sure right now. And there's SoFi with a buy, so we like that, although that's going the opposite way. Just because you see...
Actually, that's interesting. I punched out, but a SoFi went down on that spike.
That's what I'm saying. It was a buy, so I don't know why that went down.
That's why I punched out.
Yeah, weird for sure. The next one here, AMGDX. I just wanted to see if there was any Amex imbalances or anything like that. It does not look like it. So we took advantage of that move down on Google, man. You can see we hit the keys a bunch of times there. Plus, we got some of our fills. We told you we were putting it out of fill just before that hit. So, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see Google on there, but it's reacting the right way. Downside for me here into the close. I hope everybody did have a fantastic day. That's really all that matters. We'll be back here tomorrow, and then we'll wait out for some of those earnings, man. And Adair nailed it with if you're looking for earnings and you're looking for something to reference. Wow, I mean, everything that Adara has on her page, especially during earnings season, does get pretty in depth, right? I mean, Okta and Webull both coming, both about 11, 10% there at 4 p.m., 4:05. Cracker Barrel, I see they went back to the old logo. Viva, Rigetti as well, so more movement there. And what a day for moves. I mean, the big one that everyone's waiting for at 4:15 is going to be Broadcom, but you still have AEO, Rigetti, Viva Software, or I guess retail or more consumer discretionary with Cracker Barrel, Webull, some finance, some crypto talk there, and Okta data. So we'll have to see where this all goes. But thanks to Adara at Trader TV Research, you can go get that information for FREE.
I'd be worried about Rigetti because I think it's the other 3 of the 4 other quantum names in the space, or 2 of the other 3, I should say. Rigetti is the 4th one. Did not do very well in their reports, and were pretty easy short. There was IonQ that was the one that was good. QBTS and QUBT, both of those 2 were kind of nasty. Dave, hey, you're back, Dave. Dave's Daffy Duck. I can't do that one. Daffy Duck is an impossible impression. I'm rich, despicably rich. Idea of the day. Broadcom and Rigetti go to the moon tomorrow after hours, or tonight after.
Tonight, yeah.
So probably we'll probably do opposite. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If I was a betting, like I said, I don't own Broadcom. I'm not making any bet on it, but I'm very skeptical that they're going to go up. And I almost feel like even if the initial move on Broadcom is to the upside, I still won't be that excited about it tomorrow morning. Like my first thought would be they'll probably fade it even if it's to the upside. And I just take I know it's a different market from when Nvidia reported, but I take my cue from Nvidia. Like we're all here, you remember, we're here celebrating, like, oh, what a great quarter, this is the move that you want, we're breaking through, all the stuff that you wanted to see, and look what happened after the fact. It just wasn't worth getting your hopes up too high that it would sustain. It was better to give it a few days, and if you really like the quarter, then yeah, give it a couple of days and then buy that instead of, slapping on the bid and just feeling like, and I know a trader who literally said this about some random penny stock that he owned. And he was sitting there all day long buying the stock when it was down 40%. And he kept talking about how great the quarter was. And it was just some stock no one ever heard. It's like, nobody cares. The market's selling it off. If it's so good, give it a couple of days and buy and hold. Anyways.
All right, so just before 355 there, Google does go to the upside, and we didn't have very much left. We actually stopped out underneath. We got 303.18 there, so actually underneath what our price was. So all good there. We didn't have very many shares left, man. We were getting out of all of those. So 355, we couldn't go over to the imbalances, call it up again, see if anything flips up or anything here. There is FXI with a decent opportunity there, SOXS as well on the Amex, maybe something to look at. Oh, that's only $1 stock, SOXS. All right, FXI maybe with a sell, 1.2 million shares. We could see, there it is, nice little trade-off there to the downside, so FXI follows suit. XOS, I didn't even realize it's $1.94, so forget about that one. All right, there goes that all the way to the bottom again. On that, looks like FXI might be the one that has any sort of movement on it near the end of the day. Google goes up, Google goes down. Not much else going on there. Pfizer and Intel, there's Intel. Some Intel on that stock, 45 bucks. Okay, it's actually still holding out pretty good. GDX downside as well. DraftKings, one of my favorite gambling stocks. I really like DraftKings. Someone in the chat asked me what my favorite gambling stock was, and I forgot to address it. I would say, yeah, I like DraftKings. I like the first mover advantage that DraftKings does have. I like all the advertising they're doing, and I know it costs a lot of money to acquire a customer. And we just recently went whoops on that move.
You got them.
But yeah, $20 to $22, good little bid there. I would say DraftKings probably goes back up to the upside at some point, especially when the government comes in and settles down some of those prediction markets. I don't know if those are going to stay legal or not. So we'll wait to see it. If they don't, then DraftKings probably wins on that. But Polymarket's still strong, so is Kalshi. I mean, everybody now is referencing all of these things.
That's all,
so DraftKings need to get into that
all anyone
game.
seems to care about.
Yeah, I need to get in that game a little bit more on that. All right, quick look on Tesla to end the day. I think Tesla's, again, whoa. All right, 405, okay.
Oops.
Yeah, that would be a good bid for me right now to go long. We only have 3 minutes, but right into there, right into some support. So Tesla must have been on the imbalance locator as a sell, down to 408 and change. We can have another look at the locator. I didn't see Tesla, and if I did, man, it's 61 million shares. I'm only looking at these names. If it's down into here, I'm not looking at Apple at 300,000 or anything like that. There's Webull with a little sell as well. But yeah, Tesla getting hit right now. I think it fell right into some support. So that would be good. Whenever you see moves like that, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about. Look at Google. This is why it's so difficult to trade this thing during imbalance time. It went all the way to 303.60, and now it's all the way back down below 303 again. That would be a great 60 cents if that one came through there. But yeah, thanks to David for the super chat, and we'll have to wait for Broadcom. And what was the other play he wanted?
It was Broadcom and Rigetti.
Rigetti, that's what it was.
Yeah, well, Rigetti. Don't worry about the thing about Rigetti is at least it's not going to be about the fundamentals, right? It's just pure momentum. Nothing that they say, does it even matter when you don't have any serious or real revenue yet? You're just tell a convincing story and then play the momentum on the quantum names. I tend not to read too much into it because the point at which these guys are actually ever making enough money that it's relevant, it'll be way too late. It won't even matter. By that point, you'll have a couple of them that are dead and then some of them that have gone 10x. It'll be way too late on them. But it's a good momentum play. Another type of consolidation, long consolidation where you hope it's a squeeze, but it could also be a flat bottom break. And then just like D-Wave, you're shorting it for a couple of days. But Rigetti will be on your watch. Webull for sure. Broadcom is easily the most important name left to report. And we'll probably tell the story for how we feel about the market coming into tomorrow with less than 2 minutes to go. Drago says IonQ is winning and will continue to do so. You know what? Credit where credit is due. I remember, I didn't read everything that Martin Shkreli, well, okay, I read one tweet. He said a bunch of other stuff about quantum. There was one tweet that I read. And I remember the compliment he gave IonQ was that it was the only one that wasn't worth zero. So the fact that it's holding up the best out of the four, I think kudos to him for that. But I think he had price targets of like $0, $0, $1, and like $5 on the four. So it was, I don't know.
38 bucks. Okay.
Oh, it ripped faces. They all ripped faces off. So like they were all wrong. All the shorts were
Low was
wrong.
30. That was actually.
IonQ's been doing relatively well, I would say. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I was just looking at Webull to see if there's any sort of an action here at the close. It does go down to 6, does pump up back up to 610 there. 405, this one will be coming out, and we'll be able to watch out what's going on with Webull tonight. So that should be a big report, and we'll see what winds up happening with less than 20 seconds left right now. What was a good day? IBIT still hovering around there. Coinbase is still up, what, 14, 13%? Right now, Coinbase, yeah, 14.5%. So that name's holding out pretty good. As here we go, man. We're getting ready to close out what's been a pretty active day. Nasdaq up 1.5%. ES up 0.7%. Look, man, I look to my left. I don't see Joey or Sharif. So,
Usually Joe's.
yeah, I was gonna say like, you know, Joe's always wondering about the timing of everything there.
Weather is nicer.
4 o'clock. I don't see these guys anywhere. I think they both left around 2. Well, we know Sharif left at 2:30. I believe Joe did as well.
He left around 2:40,
Gotta hit those
2:45, I believe.
curls.
Yeah, you got to. Man, life was so much simpler without family and kids, but so much better with them. So yeah,
And I used to work like I clown like how can because Sharif works literally every single day. But I'll be honest, like before
Twice a day.
Before my daughter, twice a day. No, before my daughter was born, I used to work out every single day. And on the weekend, sometimes I would do too. Like I go for a run, I lift weights because you had so much time. But one of the best things about kids is A, they're awesome, but B, they force you to be efficient. Like now, I can have just as good a workout in 50 minutes that like I would, because I have 2 hours, I'll just do a 2-hour workout. But no, you're so much more efficient with your time because you like, I have other things I want to get done. You know, like we got to go do this, we got to go do that. So it forces you to be efficient, which I love. And it keeps you busy, you're always on the move, everything, they're constantly changing, so no day is really the same because they're seeing everything in a fresh way. That's the thing about kids. Like they're constantly evolving. Broadcom hasn't really come out yet.
No, it's not until 4:15.
There was actually a volume spike just now to the downside, but it's not until 4:15.
No, that would have been the closing imbalance probably. Just hitting there. Yeah, Okta's out, and there goes Okta, $71 up to 75. So this is starting to go right now. Okta reporting and is now out. So that's going to be a good one there as well. AMZN apparently announcing a little bit of a dividend. Okta, 90 cents versus 85. That's a beat. Sales, 760 versus 750. That's a beat. So yeah, Okta doing well there. But because you beat Okta, that probably means you're going lower. So be careful. Okay. There goes Okta. Just as I just said that, like because you beat, you're probably going lower. All right, yeah, but anyways, there goes Okta right now, trying to figure itself out. Join us tomorrow. It should be another great day. 2 more days of Neil, then it's going to be Obi and myself. It's already Thursday. Well, tomorrow's already, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Thursday already tomorrow, Marvell earnings. We're going to wait out for Broadcom. Should be a good one coming through.
Fingers crossed.
Rolls-Royce might dominate the summer market. Rolls-Royce. Yeah, R-Y-C-E-Y. I look at that sometimes because it is on the pink sheets. I just saw someone in the chat talking about it. This has been actually pretty good upside, I believe. Because I remember looking at this stock was like at single digits. Now you're up to $18. Yeah, Rolls-Royce doing really well.
That's a good looking chart.
Look at this one, man. All the way to the upside. Talk about it. Wow. Talk about a car company doing the best, man. $6 back last February right there. Well, 8, let's just say. Now up to 18. You know, give me another name in this space that's looking like a double in a year right there.
Oppo Taco is the Stellantis chart, I'll tell you that much.
Right there, yeah. Rivian, all these names, even Google, even Tesla.
Stellantis chart.
And BYD is really not a great stock either, despite all the talk about how
look, their company performance is better than their chart.
The chart is
chart's garbage.
BYDDY. You can have a quick look, and then we'll be out of here. It's 4:03, so we got to get out of here. But yeah, this is the BYD daily chart. You're going to see it start somewhere up here. Come on, load. Okay, well, we're getting close. Right here. Oh no,
Oh, no.
then the split happens. Okay. But anyways, there it was. Let's just say back in summertime, this was a $15 name, now 12.
Yeah, but it looks worse if you get the full effect.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, man. Good show today. Thanks to Dara for everything. Who's over there? Adrian and Fabian. Thank you. I don't even know where Brendan went, but he's not here either. So it's just you and I here. All right.
Everybody's
good day.
gone.
Enjoy your evening. Everybody's gone, man. Just the hardest workers still staying back. So thank you for that, Adara. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great evening.
Jeez. We'll even out. It didn't even move.